Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to Isyour6covered and the famous, not so famous, Bojangles Sweet Tea. We got a lot of light going on.
This is greater than that. See?
Hold on. Welcome, everyone, to the show. Hopefully you guys are having a great night. We'll have some people pouring in here in a little bit. Hopefully you guys can hear us well. And we'll get started here in a second. Let everybody get notified. We almost didn't do tonight, but we did.
Yeah, it was last minute.
Last minute, we said, you know what?
What else are we going to do? What's up, 45 Auto?
45 Auto. Let's see. Brian T got first place tonight. Wow. Welcome, Brian T. We got Carl out there. How's it going? Chris Smith. Carrie showed up late to the show, usually in first place. So welcome. So the topic of the night.
Talk about your holster.
You want to talk about the holster first?
You talk about that fancy schmancy G-code holster.
All right, so I got my G-code holster all ready for.
What's up, Drian?
Ready to go.
Lance.
So this is the G-code holster. Comes in a set. You can buy it in a set. I'm not sure what they call this set, but I did go with multicam. Figured why not? You only live once. It's got the Cobra Kai buckle on it.
It's actually a good series.
And then this one actually has a little bit
What's
of
up,
a drop,
big country?
Little drop to it, and it does have. I didn't want to spend the extra. I think it was like $25 or $35 to have a Cobra buckle right here, but this clips in.
I wouldn't want a Cobra buckle on the leg.
Yeah, plastic.
Be too much. Yeah,
but it seems to work out well. I haven't had a chance to shoot it in any competitions yet, but I got it all set up today. And one of the things, since we are going to talk about this for a minute, I guess, the holster. So when you order the holster, when you're shooting 2011s, it's kind of hard to find the exact right one.
Correct.
Because they're kind of custom. Some are fatter, some are thinner. So kind of knew what it was as far as the length, that kind of stuff. But actually, you had to spend about an hour actually drilling the holes and then making it so I could put a rubber grommets in here for tensioning it down. It needed to be wider. It would definitely not fit in there as it was built. Not sure why, but I knew from having a different one, the same holster, but a different one, we had to modify that one as well in order to work. But these are awesome holsters. It's got the hood on it, and it's got a straight down push, which I really like. Seems to be pretty quick. And came with 3 AR mags and 3 pistol mag. So that's it. That's one of the big things that I've been working on. And then today, finally, after a couple months of waiting, I put goggles on here. But I got a Team Wendy helmet finally showed up in the mail. So if you guys don't know what this is, just basically you can smack your head and not hurt yourself. This isn't ballistic of any sort. It is a heavy duty poly helmet for bumping your head. And then I got some goggles on the back, so if I need them. Other than that, that's about it. It's really nice, really light. It's got a great tensioning system. We've seen these on some rescue helmets that you guys probably aren't familiar with. More than likely, maybe you are. But it pulls out, you twist it. It's got these little cable shrinks up, kind of like the new ski boots. Yeah, you just crank them up, or snowboard boots. But
so back to the belt. You got a bunch of questions. Guys, I've actually been running the G-code belts for quite a while now, a few years, and I had talked about them a lot on my channel. I run this exact same setup, but I don't run this for 3-gun, okay? This is not optimal for 3-gun. This would be good for a 2-gun style competition where there's no shotgun, because it's going to be tough to get shotgun carriers on here. But for sniper matches, ruck matches, anything like that, these work well. I've not found a better system. You're not going to lose your pistol. It's just not going to happen. I mean, this is a very intentional move. It's straight down. It's not pulling it to the side or anything else. And as soon as you push it down with the thumb, you've cleared the hood portion of it. And they make a lot of different holsters. But what's nice is, let's say you get done with the stage. You're not having to draw the pistol out to put it in a bag or something like that, because let's say you don't want to ruck with this on. You've got the 2 push tabs. You push this, it comes up, off. It's still within the holster. It's still retained by the hood. You can throw it in your pack.
Especially if you're pasting up targets and you don't want to have to carry the damn
Correct,
thing.
because you've probably cleared it anyway, but just anytime you don't have to have the pistol out, people aren't as concerned when it's in a holster because you can't reach the trigger guard. So they use this thing called an RTS wheel, and you can adjust the rotation on this for each person for how you like it. I don't run a leg strap on mine. I'm not a huge fan of the leg strap, but this one also has another one that wouldn't have a leg strap. This is really for a med kit that goes on the back. So Rick did buy this entire setup as a kit. It comes as a kit this way, which will save you quite a bit of money, but it's not cheap. It is made in North Carolina, near Fort Bragg.
You're going to wait about 7.5 weeks.
They make them to order, and yeah, it's going to take about a month and a half to get it.
This one took longer because it was the multi-cam version, which they got to do.
Which this is coated, and
Yeah,
this
I have a
ran
black one over
300
there.
and something. Almost.
That was with the 20% discount. It
Yeah,
was
with
like
the
400 and
discount.
something dollars.
So yeah, it's not a cheap setup, but it's a great setup. And another thing about it is on this belt here, if you have something, let's say, that has Molly on it, all of this has a separator in it, so you guys can see where pretend this was a Molly or a malice clip, that is now woven in between. So there's a second layer in here so you can lock stuff in. So it's the way that these attach on, and they don't slide around. They're going to hold their positions. It's some of the best gear that I've ever used.
Not for 3-gun, but for everything
Not for
else.
3-gun, but
Yeah.
for everything else.
So if you are going to do 3-gun, this is a Safari Land holster. And the reason why we're saying not for 3-gun is because depending on what the stage is, you can take these off. You can add shell caddies. You can make it whatever you want. You can move everything around. This one's for an AR mag, another pistol mag. You can move stuff around, but you can see this is that same holster, but in black. And just like he had shown on that one, it comes out when you're not using it. So this is a huge plus.
And B. Malloy, big shout out. He just placed an order for his Bad MF. He just got his email, already placed his order. Many thanks for placing that order. I did put some in inventory tonight, and so those that needed to be emailed have been emailed. With regards to accessories that are upcoming, I should have some AICS mag holders and rimfire pouch holders by the end of this week, as well as pen holders, two-shot holders, and CZ magazine holders. It's been a long project. It really has. I should also have the final prototype for my new data card holder that mounts on scopes. 36 millimeter, 35 millimeter, 34 millimeter, and 30 millimeter.
Oh, you said 36.
So I will cover the full gamut on that. So big shout out to you. I'll get that shipped out tomorrow.
Did you say and 30?
And 30.
Wow.
I'm doing the whole gamut.
Oh, nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. So regardless of what type of scope you have, you can put a premium data card holder on it.
So you see me with this thing, and I am not some tactical badass at all. But we did do a night shoot, was it 3 months ago?
Yeah.
And a lot of guys were running night vision. I don't have night vision, at least as of right now. But we did run white light, but running through the Connex boxes and that stuff in the dark, it is kind of nice to be able to protect your noggin.
And on this one, guys, they have a couple different versions of the Team Wendy's. Yeah, I have this helmet. I have this helmet as well as the X-Fill Carbon, which is a lot lighter.
That one's nice, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're both nice, but if you're looking for a good bump helmet, this actually comes with the Wilcox. And Wilcox is a huge name in military stuff for night vision and everything else. This shroud here is a great shroud, and it's a good interface for your night vision. But you also have the option of going with a pick rail on the side. So you could put, let's say, a weapons light on there, and you could actually click it on.
Left side and right side.
Left and right. And if you're going to run nods, make sure you're running like a counterbalance on the back side, because it will make a huge difference.
Yeah, and it has the strap for it, which is holding the goggles right now. But it seems to work good. And this one, actually, I was wondering, I've been waiting for this to show up for a couple months now.
Yeah, that's anodized aluminum.
This is aluminum compared to some are plastic, so you have to worry about that actually breaking that little portion off there. So was excited to see that it was that style. Here's an up close.
Yeah, and Malloy, just so you know, for anybody that pre-ordered, I also included some things within your pack that you didn't know. I put in 2 alcohol wipes, which that's no big deal, but then I also included 4 data cards, 30 mil data cards. So if you have a data card holder already, you can use them. They're brand new, as well as Kestrel pouch. I've got 2 straps. There'll be 2 Velcro straps in there. So if you don't want it on the side of your Bad MF, you can take it off, run the Velcro straps through there, and attach it to your tripod leg. So that'll be in there as well. I appreciate it. And I've also been including, with a lot of guys, I've been giving you malice clips from Tactical Tailor. That's once again made in the USA as well. That way, if you want to attach it to a pack, like this pack here.
Yeah, Car King, that's going to work just fine, buddy.
So guys, that,
and you can cook soup in it.
That Bad MF works really well by itself, but if you have a pack and you wanted to attach it, if you just, because you've got yours here.
Yeah. B Molly, how's it going? Otter's out there. James Smith, conservative sniper hunter.
So this is Rick's right here, but if you wanted to attach this to the pack, a lot of you guys, once I got them in stock, I provided the Tactical Tailors.
They're over there.
And what you're going to do,
they're on the bullet feeders holders, left, right there. They're attached on the bottom ones. Just grab them. The bottom. Grab the bottom ones.
I see it. I see it. I see it.
Guy never listens. Just kidding.
Jeez, you actually threaded them through and locked them?
Jerry Parker, what is going on? Audit everywhere. How you doing? Come on, hit that thumbs up button. Look at these guys doing great things. I appreciate that, Audit everywhere. That's nice of you, my friend. That is nice. Yeah, I had them kind of fumbled in there. What it was on the Bad MF. There you go. He's just going to show you.
So only Rick would use the Tactical Tailor to hold his bullet runners. I don't know anybody else that would do that.
Because it was a perfect handle.
Anyway.
So if I got to run.
And so, guys, he's the ammo bearer.
Ammo, we need ammo over
This
here.
wasn't even supposed to be part of the talk tonight. So if you got any of these are made by Tactical Tailor. They are patented, made in the USA. What you're going to do is you will choose where you want it for your width. And that's a lot of times that's probably determined by the pack.
Yeah, it's going to be the pack.
This pack has a lot of moly on it. What I'm going to recommend, because when this is fully loaded with 120 rounds of like 6.5 Creedmoor, you're looking at about 9.5 to 10 pounds. What you're going to do is you're going to thread this through here. They're not going to break, but you'll feed them through the moly, and then you'll feed them through this moly, and you can actually directly attach it to the pack. That way, when you take your pack off, you can just work right off the back of it. You'll have everything. You'll have your Kestrel pouch. You could take your Kestrel pouch off, whatever you wanted to do, but that's what these things are for. So if you have them, great. If not, I will sell these not individually, but in pairs.
Yeah, you need at least 2. Ryan's asking if we're going to do any 2 or 3 gun, and then it says trigger.
Any 2-3 gun trigger this year. I'm not planning on doing any 3 gun matches.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stay with bolt this year.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be for me precision rimfire and PRS. Even though we probably have a good inventory.
Says,
I can't say that. I can't say that. I'm already committed to 2 major matches that are 3 gun related.
Memorial.
But yeah, I mean, on 2 of those are sponsored slots for me, so I have an obligation to attend those. But I'm not going to be burning my own ammunition because right now it's just so hard to replace it. I don't care how much you have. It's a lot. Just the Bad MF come with a chicken holster. I have a rooster that won't shut the heck up.
You're supposed to shoot that damn chicken.
I actually have a rooster that when you pull in the driveway and it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, he goes crazy. So I know what that means. We'll work for ammo. Yeah, just ammo is so hard to replace right now.
Hey, Andrew, that's what I'm doing. I'm working for ammo right now. For the most part.
What's up, Andrew? How are you? What's up, Sheball? Went to the office today and forgot it was MLK today. Hey, no problem, Sheball, because you'll have a package there as well. So that'll be pretty good.
Sheball, I went to the bank today and forgot.
Hey, was Eagle Eye on
here? We actually worked earlier. Yeah, he's in here somewhere.
What's up, Kenny? Watched your video. It was a good comparison on the GT and the 6 ARC.
That's it.
So for those that are interested, the name of the chat was how to get the MG and NFA items. So let's go ahead and we'll break this down. I don't know if you guys are interested. There's 60 of you in here.
I'm thinking
one of the biggest questions I get is how do you get these machine guns? How do you buy a machine gun? How do you buy a suppressor? How do you buy this? Okay, and so let's go ahead and break it down.
Let's break it down. Get the board out.
Let's break it down.
Get the board. Get the board.
All right. So
of wisdom. whiteboard of wisdom.
Can you hand me that black?
No,
marker?
this is
No,
a
the
Sharpie.
big fat one.
This one?
Yes, that one. Okay. So Rick over here wants to buy a suppressor. See, they're not going to be able to see anything on this whiteboard. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say Rick over here wants to buy a suppressor. He is going to have to do a Form 4. He's going to go to his dealer, somebody that stocks one, and he is going to purchase that. Now, let's say he's buying a Thunder Beast, an Ultra 7. Okay, so he buys a Thunder Beast Ultra 7.
Let me turn the light on.
Now, let's say it's, I don't know, $900, $800.
Good Lord,
That's much better.
Good Lord.
So he buys this Thunder Beast from his dealer. All right, he's going to purchase it, and he will know the serial number because he just purchased that suppressor.
But I won't get it.
He can't touch it. He can't get it unless his dealer owns a range, and then he can have little conjugal visits with it, and he can shoot it at the range as long as it doesn't need to leave the facility. He is going to need to do a Form 4. Okay, so it's a Form 4. And what that is basically transferring to an individual. He will have to have 2 sets of fingerprint cards, which you can do yourself. You do not have to go to your sheriff's office.
It's true. You go to CVS and get your
You're going
photo.
to need to get 2 photos, passport photos, and they must be passport photos. I don't care if you're good at Photoshop. They're very specific on the face size and everything else. Just go ahead and pay your $15 and get your 2 passport photos. You're going to fill out the Form 4, and sometimes your dealer will do this for you, or you can go to a kiosk and, you know, like the silencer shop kiosks. If you'll watch some of the comments there, just make sure we don't miss anything. And then what he will do is he will send them that entire packet with a $200 check for the tax stamp. Okay, that we shouldn't be paying in the first place, but either way, you still have the cap. All right, so what he's going to do then is he is going to wait. He's going to forget about that suppressor. Now, when I first met Rick, I told him, I said, go ahead and buy it now. You'll have it in no time. Oh, I don't want to wait.
Assurance Arms is over here. What's up, Scott?
Assurance Arms. You can do the photos on your iPhone.
You still got to print them though.
Okay, yeah,
They
you still
gotta
have
be
to print
perfect.
them, and they need to be good quality.
Just
They really
spend the
do.
damn $15 to go to CVS.
But yeah, okay, so we have Assurance Arms here.
That's
He
actually where I have 2
handles-
suppressors.
Yeah, what's up, Scott? So
What's
Scott owns Assurance Arms, and he actually handled the suppressor transfer.
He's
for
got
Rick.
3. I got 2. One I already got right there,
Yeah.
and then 2 are on the way.
So then you just
Hopefully.
forget about it, and then one day Assurance
like
Arms
Christmas.
calls him and says, "Hey,
No,
got
he
your
always
stamp."
calls you. I don't know if he doesn't have my number. He's
He
like, hey,
calls me
Ray,
and says,
tell Rick,
the suppressor's ready.
tell Rick your shit's here.
So what I did was I basically facilitated, because at the time there were no Thunder Beasts. I had a collection of Thunder Beasts. I transferred
lucky.
it to Assurance Arms because he's a dealer. I'm a dealer, but I don't sell. So I'll sell to another dealer. But anyway, so I transferred it to Assurance. That only takes a day or 2 because we're using a Form 3 to do that. Okay, but in his case, it's a Form 4.
Yeah.
At the time, they've been running a year, but 6 months, whatever. But
Yeah,
now
lately.
it's about 4 months. Okay, I don't know what's going on right now, but it's about 4 months. I'm glad for these guys. But basically,
I have
4 months they
4
call
months.
him, and he picks up the suppressor along with his little piece of paper with what looks like a postage stamp on it.
We have a race going right now. I know
There's
you know
4
about
of
it.
you.
There's 4 of us that went at the exact same time to the exact same store, filled out all the forms, and then mailed them off the exact
Said
same
Rick
day.
never gave him his number. That's why he calls me.
Yeah, he's got my number.
All right.
I call him and he's got the shit figured out. So what I'll call him and I'll pretend I'm either from like India
Yeah.
or something, you know, to keep it
Yeah,
mellow.
exactly.
And I'll ask him like silly questions, and then now he just goes, "What's up, Rick?"
Yeah. All right. So that's going to be probably the way most people are going to deal with an NFA item, okay, is doing a Form 4 transfer to an individual. They still have the trust, and you can still do a trust. The process is still going to be the same, but just realize that every single person on that trust that is listed will also need to have fingerprint and photograph cards. That used to be a thing. You didn't have to do that back in the day, but you do have to do that now. The Obama administration put that in effect, and for good reason. There were, look, I don't like the NFA in the first place, but if you got to play by the rules to have it, then so be it. That's how you're going to do a suppressor. Now, let's say you want to SBR
Short barrel rifle.
your existing rifle. Okay, so Rick has this AR here, and he just doesn't like it being a 16-inch barrel or a 20-inch barrel, and he wants to go and make it a short-barreled rifle, an SBR. So he wants to keep a regular rifle stock on it. He doesn't want to run an SB brace or anything like that. What he can do is he can do a Form 1, okay? So a Form 1 is basically a form to manufacture a firearm, okay? Or a suppressor, but we'll get into that in just a minute. So a Form 1 means I want to take this and I want to make it into an SBR. What he has to do then is he has to submit that information to the ATF, the paperwork, and he's going to send that off. Now, until he gets that approval back, he cannot begin working on this and making it an SBR, okay? You have to be really careful. You know, people talk about constructive possession and things like that. With regards to, oh, you've got all the piece parts and components. I see that all these guns are built out and that one's not, but you have all the parts and pieces. And if it's as simple as slapping an upper to a lower, that could get you hemmed up. So just be aware of that. I'm not going to get into all the nuances of what the ATF could do or what they couldn't do. I mean, they got to know you're doing it in the first place. But what you don't want are 10 rifle uppers and 5 pistol uppers with no pistol lowers, and all you have are rifle lowers. Make sense? Okay? Because now you have the ability to, within a couple seconds make an SBR.
Now, I have heard that a Form 1 is a lot shorter than waiting for a Form 4.
Correct. Doing a Form 1 now on an SBR, especially if you're going to do like an e-file on it or whatever, even if you don't, you're looking at about 30 days. It's been running 30 to 40 days to have an SBR done. Now, there are some rules to that. If you're going to manufacture it, you are going to have to deep engrave it. You can't just etch it. You want to deep laser engrave it or deep machine engrave it. There's a certain font size. I think it has to be a 16th inch tall. It's got to be 3/1000ths in depth. And you on that have to somewhere put like your name and your town. So let's just say Ricky 6 at, Cleveland, Ohio, whatever. And that's pretty much all it has to have on it. Okay. So once he does that, he is eligible to carry that SBR, shoot that SBR in his state. You have to be very careful and know what your laws are and know where you're going with your firearms. Okay. Certain things, in order to change states like suppressors or SBRs, you need to know which one is covered by this, which one isn't. But if you're going to go hunting with it, you can go hunting with a suppressor, but an SBR, I think you have to do it's like a Form 5525 or something like that. I don't even know if they still do that anymore, but they've gotten a lot more lax on some of these laws. But on SBR, I don't think you can take it out of state without the paperwork.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
Does the engraving go on the lower or the upper?
Goes on the serial numbered part, and upper is not the serial numbered part.
Oh, so it goes on the serial number.
It goes on the lower.
Which, once it is considered an SBR,
it's an SBR.
You can't put a long barrel on it.
You can.
No?
You can.
Okay.
You just can't go any shorter than the length that you fill the paperwork out for, is my understanding. So if you build this SBR,
so you want to say a 4-inch barrel, so you can put anything
exactly.
else.
You can go anything else.
Okay.
What you don't want is something shorter. I don't know if they would hem you up on it because it's still an SBR, but the general rule of thumb is put on there 7 and run everything from 7 and longer. Don't run a 5-inch upper, which they exist, 5-inch upper on a 10-inch paperwork thing. Okay. So
Assurance Arms is correct.
Yeah. So you cannot take an SBR out of state unless you notify ATF prior, and that's what I thought. Now, you can do this form. I'd have to look up the exact number, but once a year, you can actually put multiple things on there, and it's quick. It only takes a couple weeks to do it, but you can say why you're going, where you're going, and I think you're good for those states that you list on there. Okay, so
do they do that once a year, or
can you
just name 6 states that you might go to?
You could. And it's cheap to do that, okay?
Oh, and you still got to pay for that? I guess for the administrative fee or something.
I think the engraving requirement is still there, Makev, okay? I don't think that's changed. So Larry Funk, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to, because until Knucklehead gets in there. I mean, right now it's fair game. So, who knows? If you get the paperwork started, maybe you'll be grandfathered in, because who knows what they're going to try to push with this new administration.
That's the reason why I wanted to get those two other ones.
Yeah, so you've got the Form 4 and you've got a Form 1. Now, let's say Rick orders a solvent can or one of these flashlight solvent traps or whatever.
I'm going to turn this.
And you can buy it. And let's say you get it for $100. Usually the baffles can't have holes in them. They're not baffles, remember. And you want to manufacture this into a suppressor. You're still going to use a Form 1, but do not start construction. Do not drill any holes until you have the approval. The thing is now you've cut your time down from about a 4 to 5 month turnaround time to a 1 month turnaround time. Now, I'm going to piss a lot of people off when I say this.
Hashtag still a dick.
Okay, so Assurance Arms is saying no fee for taking the SBR out of the state. Okay, so that's changed. So that's good that we have somebody here that knows this. 53-20-20, form to travel with any SBR, SBS machine gun. There you go. So that was the form that I was talking about. So She-Ball-Sicky backed me up on that. Maybe there's no fee. There used to be a small fee.
That's short-barreled shotgun, right?
Yeah, short-barreled shotgun if he's got
SBS.
So there's that. Now, on the Form 1, remember, don't drill your baffles until you get the paperwork back. Now, that being said, one of my favorite sayings is, you don't know what you don't know. These guys that are buying $100 and $200 suppressors or solvent traps, and they're paying a $200 tax stamp, and they've got 400 in it, and they're like, oh, my suppressor, it's as good as that Surefire. It is not. It is not, okay?
I've been able to
While you can effectively reduce the decibels, and you can make some damn good homemade suppressors, it does not have the R&D or the decibel reduction that you're typically going to see out of a well-engineered can. They are also, many of them can be self-destructive. If you look at some of the tests, I don't watch much YouTube, but there was one that caught my eye that Guns and Gear did on one. And the bullet actually exited out of the side of the can, ruined his handguard.
That was after a shit ton.
And he was shooting it full auto. Yeah. But it just goes to show you that the R&D and all that's not in there. Will it get you by? Of course it is. But now you've got $200 that you threw towards a tax stamp, $200 towards a can that might or might not last you a while.
And it's not going to be great.
Go with something that's got a no questions asked, no frills warranty. Go with something like, Rugged or, a Dead Air. I mean, they have a policy that it doesn't matter if you send one out the side of it, they're going to replace it for you.
What's the one you got with all the caps?
Buy once, cry once.
What's the one with all the caps on it? That's heavy.
The Silencer Co Hybrid?
Yeah, the Silencer Co Hybrid. So if you're only going to buy one, that would probably be the one.
Yeah, I mean, that'll do it all. It's a big can.
It's
It'll do
heavy
it all.
as shit. And yeah.
So now, so She-Ball-Sicky says no fee, just have to fax or scan your transport form.
Rithon Riding the Wave says, Ray, it's what you know that's just not so.
Ray, it's what you know that's just not so. So Riding the Wave. I don't know if that's in regard to the suppressors, good or bad. I don't know how to take the statement.
That's his.
But I've played around. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so buy the R2 K9. So Assurance Arms, he's actually an authorized distributor for that suppressor. And he's sold quite a few of them. It's a great can.
I made quite a few.
But it's How is it making those cans?
Man, I made suppressors all damn day today.
How are your hands today?
Oh, my hands are bad.
Your hands are bad.
Yeah.
So Rick is now part of Microtech and is actually on.
My retirement lasted 3 days.
Yeah, he is an employee of Microtech Defense Industries.
Microtech.
So now
I even have a cool card. Where's it at? Oh, I still got it.
Does it say Rick on it?
Says Rick on it. I can make access into the MDI facility with this card.
So if you buy an R2 K9,
a lot of the guys can't get up where I go.
Yeah, it's a restricted area.
Restricted. I feel so like.
So now he hangs around with me all day and Sam. So,
sweet baby Moses.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
It's bad.
Anyway,
we did all sorts of cool stuff though.
Yeah. So
all right, let's buy a suppressor or something.
That is not an entry level can, guys. I'll tell you that.
It's not. It's the best can. Long before I ever started working for them, I've always said that they don't make a better, at least as of yet.
Yes. So Carcane, he asked a good question. There is a, you guys seen the oil filters
Davey J
that you can screw it on? Well, you can register that adapter
yeah.
and just change the oil filters out. Okay. That's basically what people are doing on that.
That's right, Cradman. I need my play money.
Yeah. So guys, there's great information here. Jackson says, if you buy a solvent trap and then you get your tax stamp, you're in for at least 300 or 400 bones. Then you mess up on the drilling and you just wasted $400. That's just the way it is. What's the best way to sell suppressors? Just direct with the SOT dealer? Thumbs
up, everybody, please.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, Shabal Siki, because back in the day, I had a bunch of Gymtech cans, and I don't like them, and I want to get rid of them, but at this point, I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm just going to keep them. I think the hassle might be a lot of people. Who's going to buy a used can? I mean, unless you're selling it at a really, really cheap price. I don't know. I've really messed around with that.
People do it.
I might have to start wearing a tie around you guys.
If you get a chance, hit the thumbs up, my friends. 90 watching, only 30 thumbs.
Oh,
what?
Michigan Watch.
How you doing,
Friend
Michigan?
of a friend just bought some solvent canisters, and when they arrived, the ATF was there and confiscated all of his firearms. Ooh, interesting. I'd like to hear more about that.
There was a diesel YouTube channel, a straight up legit diesel YouTube channel that ordered filters.
Yep.
And
ATF showed up.
They came to visit, and he goes, "Well, can I show you this first?" And he's got like this huge diesel shop and like tons of old filters and like full legit.
That's crazy.
But I watched that video and I was like, man, they are. Yeah, if you try to do that shit online, I want me one of those. Yeah, you're gonna get some extra people show up besides.
So I'm trying to tell you the legal way to do everything.
That's right. Do it the legal way.
So a Form 3, okay, Form 3. This is what Scott and I do a lot of. So a Form 3. A Form 3 is a dealer-to-dealer transfer. So before we get into Form 3s and all that, let's talk about how you go about being a dealer, how you go about getting machine guns, things like that. So let's say Mr. Rick here retired from
the fire service.
Oh, I'm going to say he retired from Boeing, and he was an engineer. He made $1 billion, and now all of a sudden he wants to buy a machine gun. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
And he finds an HK MP5.
I like that. No, I want the
fully transferable.
Okay.
It's going to be $35,000 to $40,000, depending on the market. It fluctuates quite a bit.
Somebody smack myself.
Yeah, but if you've got the money, I mean, most cases, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you,
it's a whole.
He's probably a doctor. Okay, that's who usually buys this stuff.
Yeah, I'll show you.
A surgeon or something like that. Those are going to be your biggest majority of guys that are buying fully transferable, and a lot of guys will buy them for investment purposes, things like that. I remember back in the day. And this was way back in the day, you could buy fully transferable Colt M16s, about $3,000. You can't touch one now for less than $30,000 for a genuine Colt, like an M16A2.
That's an investment.
And so that's a huge investment when you look at turning a $3,000 into $30,000. However, you'll never see these again because where it's at right now is where they're going to be, $28,000 to $30,000 for a perfect example of one, but it's never being replenished. What was made pre-84 has been made.
It's done.
So the doctors and your retired engineers and all that, they've amassed this collection, and most of them don't want to get rid of it. The only time you usually see those go away is when
they made bad financial,
or is when they die or make a bad financial decision, and then the family's selling it off or whatever.
We need to get rid of this.
So
Kaiser, I'll make sure he answers it.
As an individual, you can buy a fully transferable machine gun. You're going to go through the same process of doing the forms. You'll do like a Form 4. You'll do the same paperwork and everything else. And it's a good thing to have a copy of those forms with you at all times. Either put it on your phone, take a picture of it. If you want to read any of these, just make sure.
I have a question, but I'm going to wait. And I can't highlight it on this one, but it doesn't have anything to do with what you're saying right now. It's about the Alien versus the 2011.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a minute.
Here, you know what? Give me that board and I'll write the questions down so I can get to them later.
Okay, so let's say you want to become a dealer like myself or Assurance Arms. What you can do is you can go online, you can print an FFL form, how to become an FFL, and a federal firearms license. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things with this, but let me just tell you, just print it out, and you're going to have an LLC or a corporation or something like that existing. You'll have to have that in place before you do this. Now, you're going to have to pay a fee for that. It's not that expensive. Once you get granted your FFL license, that's good for 3 years. But You're going to do all of this paperwork. Once you do all of this paperwork and you submit it, they are going to come and pay you a visit. They're going to come and look. Okay, so where Rick lives right now, his locale, where it's located, and his basement, the way he's got it secure and everything else, more than likely, if he can show a reason, he can get approved for an FFL. More than likely. They used to, for a while there, cut out all of the home FFLs. But if he can show that he's got a business, let's say his YouTube is, successful and he's transferring guns in a lot, he can use that as a reason to get an FFL, and not necessarily somebody that's selling to the general public.
No.
Now, if you take this house and you pick it up and you move it in downtown, let's say Columbia, South Carolina, and it's in the middle of Columbia, South Carolina in a business area, but it's a house.
So
chances are they might not approve that because it's a residence in a really high populated area. Okay. I don't know how they look at it, but they look at it like if you're more rural and you're trying to do a house FFL, they can be a little more strict on those. I don't know exactly, but I'm just telling you what I was told. So your home FFLs, they've kind of gotten away from these guys with a little shed out in the back and calling it their shop and selling it out of the shop out of the back in the backyard. So they will come and take a visit. They're going to look at the facility. They're going to look at, what type of things you have in place. I'm not saying it's a requirement, but do you,
is it secure?
Is it secure? Do you have a way of locking it up?
Do you have a urinal?
Do you have an alarm system? Things like that. So when you apply for your federal firearms license, there are different things you can apply for. You can apply to just be a dealer in firearms. You can be a manufacturer in firearms. Now, Scott is a manufacturer. I'm a manufacturer. Yeah. Okay. So eagle eye shooting. This is the key thing. Ray hinted on a huge decision factor. You've got to prove you needing it for a business. Okay. And that is up to you. I'm not going to give you too many hints on that. That's something you need to research if that's something that you want to pursue. Now, each level of an FFL is going to cost differently. Okay. So if you're a manufacturer, depending on what level of manufacturer you are, if you're a manufacturer reduced, you might pay $500, something like that. But remember, it's good for 3 years. You still can't get machine guns yet, okay? The only thing you can do is you can transfer, buy, and sell firearms, buy from dealers, depends on how well you're established and everything else. But you can't do anything until you get your FFL. And once you get your FFL, then you can apply for your SOT or your special occupational tax. You're going to have to provide them with your tax ID number, your EIN, and your FFL number, and you're going to have to pay them that fee, which is $500 typically. It could be more, but that renews every single year. It renews in June. Once you pay the SOT and you have both of those in hand, now you're able to get into transferring and buying and selling machine guns. Okay. As a dealer.
Let's answer this question really quick because it's so long. I don't want to write it all down. Can a dealer transfer a suppressor to another dealer after the Form 4 has already been filed to carry out the remainder of the wait time?
My understanding is no. You need to contact so if a business goes out, yes, it can absolutely be done. It's very easy, and they will expedite that process for you. They'll try to get that transfer pushed through. Let's say I'm holding his suppressor, and I know Assurance Arms, and I say, look, I just, I've been hanging on, but there's just no inventory. I gotta get rid of my business. Sorry, Rick. Well, then what I have to do is I have to inform the ATF of which ones I have in jail, and they will help facilitate getting those pushed through so that I can close up shop and get rid of my inventory. Now, as far as your situation or that situation you asked about, I'm sure it's possible, but you're going to have to coordinate with ATF to get that done, I think. I don't think it's as simple as, because that process is already going and that dealer is holding it for you. I've never had to do that, so I don't know. Maybe John or maybe Scott can chime in on it. I was looking at John Talley. He had a comment up there.
I've also heard too that if you're moving from a different state.
Yeah, or if you're changing states. I've known some guys to do that.
Like if you live in North Carolina,
will work with you.
And now you get transferred to South Carolina for your job or whatever.
They will work with you to get that done. But it's going to take them doing it. ATF will move them through lightning fast if you go out of business. Yeah, I know that will happen, but I'm saying, let's say you don't go out of business, and let's say that person just wants to use a different dealer for, you know what? Most dealers probably wouldn't even agree, and they're going to say, sorry, you just got to deal with it, unless there's a reason like you're moving or something like that.
Yeah, he's transferring his shop inside.
Being an LEO has no bearing on you getting an FFL. It could probably even hurt you. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, that's just one of those things. Just, you've got to get your FFL license, and you got to get your SOT if you want to get into the machine gun things. Now let's talk about, now, if you want to start transferring and doing all this, we've already told you how you can do it as an individual with a fully transferable. Okay. That's something that's pre-May 1984. On the dealer end of it, like if Assurance Arms or myself, yeah, see, Assurance Arms says no, it'll have to stay with the original dealer. Unless you have a need, like moving out of state or something like that, I don't think they're going to do that for you. Once that paperwork's filed, that's going to really need to go through the dealer that started it. Now, so Assurance Arms or myself, let's say we want to buy an HK MP5, okay, but we don't want to spend $40,000 because, you know, we're not this retired doctor or whatever. What we want to do is we want to find something that's made for demonstration purposes, okay, for law enforcement or military demonstrations. We then have to, number one, find it, or let's say an agency is selling them, and they are at a much reduced rate. That same H&K that he's paying $40,000 for because it's a fully transferable unit, we could buy for $300 to $3,500, okay? Now that's going to be a beat up unit, and HK no longer sells post samples to dealers, okay, to individual dealers. It's got to be an agency
like
or
an old Leo turn-in or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's how you get them, is old law enforcement turn-ins. Now this gets into other things. This gets into a Form 5 and all that when you're transferring between agencies or military branches, things like that. We don't want to get too complicated in that, but there are different levels of samples or demonstrations. Okay, so you have what they call pre-samples, which they're not fully transferable, but a dealer can retain those if he bought them and then went out of business. He has the ability to retain those
as the owner of the company.
Yeah. So as a pre-sample, okay, we got fully transferable at 40 grand.
40 grand.
Then you got me with a post sample, which is going to be $3,500.
$3,500.
Now a pre-sample HKMP5, which means it can transfer between dealers, but it has more value because it can be retained by an individual after the fact. Those are going to be about $8,000 to $10,000. That's general pricing. So and they could be the exact same machine gun. Okay. Now, just because you're an FFL SOT doesn't mean you can get a machine gun or get a post sample. That has to be accompanied by a law letter, by an agency or a branch that's requesting a demonstration of that exact model. Okay.
You would have to ask the agency if they would want it to.
No. So now, let's say he is the police department. He is the chief of police, or he's the sheriff, and let's say, I don't know, Nashville, Tennessee. Awesome. And he calls me. He's like, "Hey, you deal in machine guns?" Yeah. Well, my SWAT team is looking for some blah blah blah, whatever it is. And I say, "Well, all right. Well, I can help facilitate that, but I need you to write me a law letter so that ATF will approve it." He says, "Okay." So let's say he reaches out to a company and they're like, "No, sorry, we don't have any." And I say, "Well, I've got a couple of them in inventory, you know, or whatever." By getting that demo letter, and let's say I wanted to get some new ones in for them, that enables me to buy or transfer those post samples. But I have to have that law letter. There's no expiration on that. But that chief or sheriff, the chief law enforcement officer, has to say, he can't say, "I want a demonstration of an MP5. It's like, "I want a demonstration of an HK MP5K or an HK 53A2 or A3. And he's allowed to put 2 of the same model on that letter. That's it. So I can't possess more than 2 of the exact same post sample machine guns. 2, and that's it. Okay.
That's anybody.
That's anybody. Now, like a Glock 18, you guys know I have a Glock 18. I've showed them a bunch on the channel and everything else. They're hard to get. Glock doesn't make a habit of selling those to dealers. But if you can find one that was turned in, or one that was an older one that an agency might have bought, and like mine's like brand spanking new, but if you can find those command even more money because they're so hard to get. I mean, they're just getting more and more difficult to get.
Titanium.
Yeah, so that's how that works on the dealer level. I don't know if John wants to add anything into this. Let me see. Or Scott, yeah. I keep reading up there. John Townley had a good question, but let me scroll up. We're using a different format. We're not using a StreamYard, so it's a little different.
I'm out of my hours on StreamYard. I got to wait till
you're chatting too much.
Hey, that's what it is.
Where did that question go that John had asked?
I was too cheap to pay for the monthly payment thing still.
Oh, gotcha.
Once my credit card got hacked and I had to get a new one.
Oh, about to mess something up. Oh, crud.
You got this. You're
I was reading too much over to the side. Hold on.
You're going to jack this all up, aren't you?
Okay, so
shooter. Imagine getting permit.
If I had an automatic rifle given to me, I couldn't afford to shoot it. Now, Buddy D, this is a great question. I was actually going to talk on this. So what you'll typically see, I know John's probably seen it. I've probably seen it. And I'm just guessing. I don't know this. You'll have 70-year-olds, or Scott, you'll have 70-year-old man come in there and he's like, hey, I brought this thing back from Vietnam and how much can I get for it? You look at it and you're like, I don't have a shot. That just never happened to me because I don't have a shop that's open. But I've seen this before, just being in a gun store. It's like, dude, this is a fully automatic AK. You can't own this. You can't own it. Okay, unless it was registered during the amnesty, you don't want to be caught with that. And what do you tell somebody like that? It's like, sir, you need to turn that into the police department or sheriff's agency, have that destroyed. And if you get caught with that, it's a big fine.
Hell no.
You're seeing a ton of this crap starting to come up now because all the veterans that are dying off or getting older, or kids that are finding it up in grandfather's basement from, finding Tommy guns and you name it. And they don't know what to do with them. And there really is no legal way unless they had filed for that and during the amnesty, which I doubt there'll ever be another one.
And I bet you tons of those.
It's better just loose lips sink ships. Just keep your mouth shut, and there's no value in it. There's no value. There's a value to somebody, but you don't want to be caught in a sting or anything like that. Best thing is stay away from that stuff as best you can, because that's something you don't want to play around with. And for whatever reason, machine guns attract a lot of attention.
True, Piedmont.
Even if you're at a range, somebody break out a saw or something like that, cops will show up. Man, we reported machine gun fire. Yep, here it is, all the paperwork. Usually they don't. But if you do that on private property, they do have a propensity to show up. Okay, just because everybody's going to call and say they're shooting machine guns down there. That's just the way it is. Even in the South,
you can't own machine guns. Everybody thinks they're completely illegal.
Yeah.
Like when you hear, like, oh, that guy's got an illegal machine gun.
Yeah. So they are illegal. And that's the processes that you'd have to go through. Is it, unless you're going to do it for a business, having one is not really that fun. And the thing is
it's just a waste.
You got to feed it anyway. Okay. Yes. Scott, as assurance, he does have a Tommy gun. It's a nice one. Got to play around with it.
You're good, kid. Real good, Shane.
Yeah, I would buy it from him meeting in the parking lot. And I'm sure those deals happen all of the time. Yeah, but
the black market.
Yeah, it's that black market that you don't ever want to get caught up in. No. Just
get a semi.
Belt feds. I want
get a fully automatic semi-auto. Fully semi-automatic.
I want a good video on this with someone from an auction house a few years back. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Like I said, I don't know the answer to every question because there's so many what ifs, and I just kind of know my wheelhouse. I do a lot of transfers with Scott. We've done a lot together.
Nice,
hundreds and hundreds of
transfers,
guns and suppressors and everything else, but I don't sell to the general public. So it's just it's something that I chose to do. I chose Dangerous Freedom every time. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that have them. M16A2 converted over to an auto with a belt-fed upper is my dream gun. Yeah, that would be a fun one. That'd be a fun one. There's a lot of people that have good conversion uppers on them. And and then there's lightning links, and there are auto sears, the RDIASs. I've actually made quite a few of those, and those are registered. I have to do those under manufacturing license.
Yep.
And basically you drop it in, and as long as you've got a full auto bolt carrier group and a selector switch, boom,
this is the way to go. This is the best way to go.
But I can't sell those to an individual.
No.
An individual can't buy them. The only thing I can do is transfer it to someone like Scott over at Assurance Arms. And because I made it, I registered it, I Form 2'd that. So we haven't talked about Form 2s. Form 2 is when you're manufacturing something, okay? Like on a manufacturing level, if I'm going to make, I have to do boatloads of Form 2s whenever I'm making suppressors. And so, I might do 60 to 100 a week. And those are all, I'm going to e-file those. I'll do all the serial number ranges and everything else. But then I got to come over here. I made a Glock auto sear. I actually put that on the channel. And so I've got to register that, make it into Form 2. It's a registered drop-in auto sear for Glock, RDIAS, and I come up with a serial number. I can sell that to Scott, but because it's a post sample, he's going to have a law letter for that. So now we're getting into some areas that a lot of people don't know about.
So
yes,
I guess buying the triggers.
Yeah, you can 3D print them. Yeah, I don't want to get into that because that's something that's unlawful. And hey, I'm by the letter of the law, right? And I'm not losing my license for anything. But yeah, you don't want to get caught with any of that stuff, of course. What about a manufacturer that tests their uppers and bulk carrier groups to full auto lower? What type of license they need? Nothing. All they need is the full auto lower. They have to have the paperwork for that. So regardless of whether that is, has a drop-in auto sear, or it's a post sample, or it's a fully transferable, or it's a pre-sample, they have to have the paperwork on that one. A machine gun is a machine gun. You can put whatever upper you want. You could put bayonets on it. It has no other restriction. It's a machine gun. A machine gun doesn't follow under any barrel lengths or anything like that. You can switch as needed as long as you've got the registered part. Machine gun's a machine gun.
That's why the whole trigger sear system is better than having it to one rifle, because you can put it in any rifle. AR.
Yeah, well, you could. It's my opinion that if you're going to buy one thing and you're going to spend the money, and let's say you're okay, let's say you're an individual and you're wanting the cheapest fully transferable machine gun you can buy, you're probably looking at a MAC-10 or some type of Uzi. Okay. Yeah. So a fully transfer, yeah, you can shake your head, but the thing is, if you're looking to get your machine gun, you're going to spend somewhere between $8,000 to $10,000 for that fully transferable, MAC-10 or Israeli Uzi. I've seen them a lot cheaper than $10,000. Okay, $8,000 on some. It depends on who's making it. Is it a Israeli Industries? Or it depends on what it is. That's usually. That's kind of like buying that first 22 can. That's your segue into the NFA world. I want that fully transferable. Yeah. That's going to be the cheapest way. So. But if you want the most versatile thing, the best thing to do is buy you a machine gun. And I know you guys are going to laugh, but I'm telling you, the cheapest way to get into an M16, because remember, it doesn't care about the caliber. Machine gun's a machine gun. You can put a 300 blackout upper on it, 5.56, 50 bail, whatever you want to put on there. As long as you got that lower, yeah. You have whatever caliber, whatever length, whatever subgun you want. It is one of the best options to go with.
And it can be an SBR because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's not an SBR. It's a machine gun. It can have a barrel, barrel that damn long on it. It doesn't matter. It's a flamethrower. I've got one of those. So it's completely useless. You can't hit anything past 100 yards, but it's got like a 4-inch barrel on it. Okay. So.
Oh man, I almost said so.
Yeah, but anyway. If you can find one of those, you're not going to be able to afford a Colt, because a Colt fully transferable lower, if it's an M16 A1 or A2, just a lower without the upper on it, you're looking at about $15K, okay, 15 to 20K just for that lower. 20K is really more realistic, but you can get into some of these other ones like the older PacWest arms, the PWAs. You can find those a lot cheaper. The quality might not be there, but remember, the lower is a non-stressed part.
LZ, it doesn't matter. You just put a new barrel on it.
Yeah. How long does the machine gun's barrel last? It really depends on how hard you're running it. If you're just doing mag dump after mag dump, you're going to chew it up in no time. That's when you just throw another one on there. So we've done a bunch of burn down tests with
what form do you need for a flamethrower?
Flamethrower falls under something else, because like X Products
That's
does their own
ATF
little version
thing.
of a flamethrower. I don't believe you have to. I think that's any other weapon or something like that. I don't know if it's. I don't even know. I don't mess with that crap, so I don't know.
Ain't nobody got time to start fires.
Ray, what do you think about these binary triggers? Hey, there's a trigger that's out now that's actually real cool. It's got a factory reset on it where it's a forced reset, and it's better than any of these binaries where you pull and release and it fires. I cannot remember the name of it. And somebody here is going to recall it. It's about $400. It's a drop-in trigger, but basically it forces the reset. And so literally, I mean, it's not one of these you got to time it and hold it just right. It's just like, and I can't remember who makes it. It's not the Frankfurt Arsenal or anything like that. Rare Breed, that's it. Rare Breed trigger. That was the name of it. That thing's supposed to be the shiznit.
The shizzle.
Yeah, if you're going to do it and not have to deal with, bump firing it or any of this other crap.
Yeah, because you got to time those just right. Tech call.
Yeah, shall not be infringed. And I agree with you 100%, Piedmont Shooter. But the thing is I was in a position where I needed to get the license for other reasons, and I had to play by the rules. I don't agree with any infringement of our Second Amendment. I don't believe the NFA should exist for any reason, suppressors, machine guns, or anything. In my opinion, they're less lethal because you're not going to be as accurate. I've seen too many SWAT teams trying to qualify with machine guns, and they usually can't on their first time. They're a lot harder to control.
Remember,
especially
I did that one test that one time.
Yeah, you did. I ran him through a test. It
is tough.
Unless you're putting down suppressive fire, and that is it. Keeping your head down and putting down suppressive fire so you can move from one location to another. That's the only reason for machine gun, really. Apparently, let's see here. Amen, Ray, preach. Hey, it's the truth. I'd like to get you. You know what we need to do?
Yeah, we need to
get you on here on a live chat one night, Scott.
Yep.
And you can let her rip.
Man, I did a video with Scott. He only said about 4 words. He ain't a very talkative.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, I think we could get him on a roll.
We could. I got it right here, Kaiser. I didn't forget about you, buddy. We're gonna get to it. I promise.
Okay. So
The
let me go ahead
question
and
is,
answer
did you
this
hit
question.
the thumbs up button?
All right, Kaiser. I will choose the 2011 over the Alien for my type of shooting. If I was a big USPSA shooter that wanted to shoot in multiple divisions, let's say carry optics or a dot division, and then what? I can't read it.
Scott says, "Do I have to be sober?"
Do I have to be sober?
No,
you don't.
You just got to get a
rule
taxi
that.
out of here. Or you can sleep on the floor. Got a bed for you.
Now, while the Alien has a great trigger, it's not a 2011. While the Alien does have, and look, I'm in the process of possibly working something out about buying an Alien from a guy. I put the video out, and the guy said he doesn't like his. Would I be interested? I send me an email. So if that one becomes available and the price is right, I'm probably going to buy it.
And the price is wrong.
But I would probably choose the 2011 at this point in time. I get more time on an Alien. Who knows? That could possibly change.
That could totally change.
I also don't know long term how long that thing will last either. It does have that piston system, just like the P7, though. But
it'd be cool to take one of those and see if it fit in the P7.
Oh, I guarantee it will.
If you can said it has the same exact.
It is the exact same dimpling and everything.
We were talking about this at lunch.
Jerry Mitchell doesn't need a binary for a lotto. He can pull it faster.
Yeah.
I've shot a lot with Jerry. I really have, and that guy is incredibly fast. But he's not machine gun fast.
He's a cool
he's fast.
Too, yeah.
He's fast. He's not going to keep up with a Glock 18. I can tell you that. Nobody can. Make America America again. That's right. Let her rip, potato chip.
That's right.
Accuracy through volume and suppressive fire are the 2 reasons I want a belt fed. There you go. Don't think so, Scott. Rick is usually sugar wasted, and I'm Diet Coke wasted on aspartame and everything else.
I did have moonshine a couple times. I still got some up there though. Damn good moonshine, by the way.
Len Holt says, "Dang, that Alien versus Cabot is a conundrum." Yeah, I really like that Alien, and I think I could be really quick with it. The recoil impulse was so different. It was very, very flat. Yeah, Tim Davis, somebody should suggest that to him, but there's nobody's fingers that fast. The cyclic rate on a Glock 18 is
smoking
sick.
Fast.
It's sick.
It climbs.
When you hear it,
when
you heard it at the range yesterday, I actually took it to the range and I let George, who was nice enough to let me shoot the Alien. I said, you ever shot a machine gun? And he's like, no. I said, do you want to? And so I said, I got a Glock 18 and I put like 5 rounds in it. And I was like, do just semi-auto. And he's like, bink. I'm like, shoot it again, bink. And I flipped it up. I said, all right, 3-shot burst, hold on. It was like, pow. And he's like, oh. And I was like, yeah, that was 3 shots, dude. It's that fast. And so then I put 5 in there. The cyclic rate, just because the stroke is so short on it, it's insane.
It's tough to hold on to though. Did you shoot it as a pistol or did it have that brace on there?
No, I let him shoot it as a pistol, and I let him shoot the MP5, which the MP5s, those things are so sweet. Awesome. They're so easy to control.
That's a lot slower though.
He will settle for an M80 souped up to 180,000 rounds per minute.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I reviewed a M80. Well, let's see, what was it, M80?
Soup.
Yeah, no, M60. I reviewed an M60 249 saw. I think I did a 240 Bravo. I'm going to try to get some more belt feds on there. The thing is, it costs so freaking much.
Especially the ammo right now.
Jerry versus, A10 Warthog. Bah.
Yeah.
Need some info on those watches you guys are wearing. Drian. It is
Drian.
Garmin.
Phoenix.
Let's type it in. Garmin Phoenix 5X Sapphire.
Nope.
Oh, it's all right.
Click on
I gotta learn how to do this. Garmin.
I'm actually having an issue with mine right this second,
Phoenix,
though, just so you guys know.
5X.
It's not tying into my phone.
Okay, so we're running a version of that. They've got a newer version as well.
Mine's a 5 Plus, by the way.
Oh, he's got a 5 Plus. They got 5 Plus, and
the 5 Plus just has
I have a 5 Plus. It has the O2 sensor.
O2 sensor, yeah. So as it's taking your heart rate and all that other stuff, it's calculating what your oxygen is in your blood.
Yeah, so he's got the 5 Plus. I have a 5 Plus. It's not this one. I've got a couple of these. But then they have a new one that they came out with that's got applied ballistics. And they also have it where it's compatible for night vision, so you can use them and still read it with your nods on. I've actually been wearing one of the Garmin since 2014. I had some buddies that were special operations, and they put me onto them, the original ones.
You don't change
and they
the
work
battery.
Great with nods. You don't change the battery.
You just charge it.
You charge it. A charge depending on if you're using Bluetooth and if you're getting your notifications.
The guy that's got a Tommy gun saying you can't hide money.
Hey, you know what? I don't even want to hear it.
The guy owns a gun store.
Yeah, he has the gun store owner. You guys have all the big money.
Oh man, if I had his money, I'd burn all mine.
Talking Rock, this is not another gadget. This actually works really well for us. Well, for me anyway. I don't know about him, but if I'm doing a ruck match and I need to keep track, number one, it'll track my heart rate, elevation, distance. It'll also keep track of my ruck time. So if I have
elevation,
not
your heart, but
let's say I have a target time of 16-minute miles, and if I don't do that, I get DQ'd from the match. This will tell me when to speed up or slow down because I'll keep track of it. It truly isn't a gadget for what we do it for.
It's a tool.
It is a tool.
Show him.
How do you get applied ballistics on your watch? You don't. You have to actually buy that watch. That watch is specific. There is a shooter's app you can put on here, but it's not going to be the true applied ballistics with the new version. I downloaded
that one they had.
Oh, that one sucks.
You can't see shit on that thing. It's too small, especially if you got old man eyes.
Show him a denial on his next 4473 assurance.
Eagle Eye
reaction video.
Eagle Eye. Don't make me put your ass on timeout. I will put you on.
Don't put Kenny on timeout.
Strike one.
Strike one.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Give me all your money.
That's right.
At my age, breathing is a blessing. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Every day above. That $1,200 version. Wow. Yeah, Robert M.
That's out of control.
Yeah.
Those are expensive.
Will it automatically call 911 when my heart rate gets too high? No, it won't. You can't place a call on it. Huh?
Yeah, these will.
It'll place a phone call?
Yeah. Even the iPhone one does that. If I fall, and I have it turned off.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I have mine turned off.
Yeah, but if you go kuta, it's a huge shock. Like you probably died from a fall. It'll alert.
It'll alert who?
I don't know exactly.
He's making this shit.
No, I had it on the little.
This shit out.
Don't make me get my phone.
Okay, but you have to have your phone with you, and you have to have cell phone service. So I'm familiar with some of these. So if you guys are into watches, the Breitling Emergency, You could actually pull out the stem. It was really made for pilots.
Like a fuse box.
And what you did is you took the stem, and it was deployable once, but if you did it, it saved your life. You could actually pull it out, and what it was an antenna, and it would transmit a frequency. So if they were doing passes looking for your downed aircraft or looking for you or whatever, it would send a beacon out. And so the Breitling emergency was that watch. So maybe it works on something like that. I don't know. But I do turn the heart rate monitor on this off. I take all the O2 sensors off because I can go 30 days without charging, whereas these guys have to charge like every 2 weeks because they have everything in their brother turned on.
You ever see one of those?
Rescue Link. So I used something similar to this in California when I was on the overlanding trip, and we had the Garmin, and we could actually, with satellite, we could actually send text and everything else out.
No, this is a little different.
Mini ePrib on a watch. Yeah, that's right. Emergency locator beacon, basically.
Yeah, you pull it. This is a cord comes out.
Same thing. Except you can't wear that on your arm.
You put it on your pack.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm missing a lot of questions here.
Bill Sweeney
would like to see you guys' opinion of the new 6.8 Western. Outperforms 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 PRC, and is getting into 300 mag territory.
Oh, shit.
Probably a barrel burner. I do not know anything about the 6.8 Western.
Nope.
Maybe Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye
knows more about it.
Yeah, he builds rifles. We just shoot them.
Yeah, now we have transferred Otter into the whatever else happens.
Whatever else happens
of the live chat.
Why? What did he say? Oh yeah.
Ray, exactly. AR with a 12-inch barrel with a brace. Overall length over 26 inches. Firearm versus pistol.
Ooh, there's a
yeah. So when you get into overall length, and overall length gets into a certain area, then that's going to change the classification. Let's get
6.9
Scott to chime in on that one.
6.8 Western is a 270 on steroids, Piedmont says.
Cogsid, wondering how we'll feel when Biden administration has conservative channels like yours taken down. You know what?
It's going to suck.
It's going to suck. It's happening. I know it's going to happen. We'll lose all of our channels, monetization. And then I will start doing motorcycle and car videos. I think I can still make the channel go.
How many laps will it take to get Rick to throw up?
Yeah. So, I have something to go into that's politically correct if they want to shut down my channel. And I'll call it the X Circle or something. Who knows? Who the hell knows? I'm actually going to do some motorcycle training videos here shortly. You guys know Bryson Allen. He's been on my channel a few times. He recently just purchased a motorcycle, and I was going to kind of do a video tutorial. I'm not an MSF instructor. This is way above any of that stuff. It has its place, but this will be training well above and beyond anything you're going to see in any type of MSF style course or anything like that. So let's see here.
What a conservative snapper.
In short action, they dropped a 165 and 170 bullet 277 cal. It's a new Browning cartridge rifle. Yeah, be interested to see.
Sheball Secchi wants to know any thoughts on the LaRue Predator barrels.
I don't know about the LaRue Predator barrels, but I've owned the OBR and the Predatobriar, or whatever they call it. I've owned a couple of the LaRue rifles. I will tell you, they all shot lights out for me. I loved them. Great rifles, but I don't know about just the plain barrel.
It's a short action, and they dropped the 165 grain and 175 grain bullets, .277 cal.
Piedmont shooter downloaded on the USBs. That way you'd have them. Yeah, it's coming, guys. Motorcycle maintenance would be good. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Work will change this content to Sweet Tea Reviews.
Sweet Tea. Today we're going to be trying the Bojangles Sweet Tea Original.
You're going to do that with electric cars. I don't know. I won't have access to a whole lot of the vehicles that I did before in the past. I can make some things happen. More than likely, that's probably going to be with if I can do stuff like that, it would be with BMW. We'll see. And I'll tell you, I'm a huge fan of the Teslas. My wife is considering one of those. We've been talking about it. Price point's a little hard to. I don't know. We'll see. They're unbelievably fast though. They really are. I'm already monetized on Rumble, but I still need 900 more subs on YouTube to get monetized. Oh wow! I didn't know any other channels were doing monetization. And like I said, it's not about the money. It's nice. It helps out.
He's talking about YouTube.
No, he says he's already monetized on Rumble. I didn't know you could get monetized on Rumble. I'm not on any other channels.
I'm not on Rumble. I thought they shut down Rumble. They must have turned it back on, I guess.
I've been buying Florida reloading dies in every caliber. I think it would need. No electric vehicles.
Full length.
No electric vehicles. Electric vehicles bad. Conservative sniper hunter.
No.
Electric vehicles bad, Mr. Rick.
That's not good. What the hell is Rumble? Are you ready to rumble? There. Just subscribe to the other Tim. Yeah, if you guys get a chance, get over there and click the subscribe button on the other Tim Davis channel. He actually does a lot of radio stuff, like shortwave radio, ham radio kind of stuff.
Yeah, Parler is the one that was shut down.
Oh, Parler. That's
Parler,
right.
Yeah.
See, they're all just one big blur now. I can't keep track of all of them.
Remember, I'm not on social media anymore other than this. This will be the last chance I have for social media.
This will be the last time you see Mr. X-Ray.
I killed Facebook. I killed Instagram.
Oh, you can't say that?
Yeah, I did.
No, don't say that. That was mean, right?
Ah, shit.
You can't kill anybody.
You'll be run out of town if you buy a Tesla. Now, you know what? Okay, so
shit, this town.
You have no idea.
There's so many damn.
I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret.
Prius.
I have owned 2 Prius vehicles.
Yeah, he's that guy.
I am that guy. Now they were called tactical Prius.
Oh, they were badass.
They were badass. They really were.
It was basically a SWAT vehicle.
Those have been the best vehicles I've ever owned because they're so unassuming. You can drive forever on like a pint of gas. And I hate I sold them. Now I buy this, ungreen friendly big ass diesel truck.
Wait, keep going.
Go ahead. So to go from a Prius to a big HD 2500 diesel, you talk about oxymoron. I mean, it's just,
what gets better fuel mileage, one of those or a motorcycle? Because it's probably right around the same amount.
No, a Prius gets better gas mileage than most motorcycles.
Holy damn.
So most motorcycles, believe it or not,
yeah,
all you guys are going to argue with me on these Harley Davidson riders and everybody else, these BMW riders.
Had a cool sticker on it, though.
Depending on how you ride it, because most people like to freaking everywhere they go on a motorcycle
or a Dodge
you're gonna average about 35 to 40 miles to the gallon. Okay, now if you got a little 600 or something, you might be able to squeeze 45 out of it, but typically that's what you're going to see miles per gallon. A Prius,
I saw that, Daniel.
Holy crap, 45 to 50 miles to the gallon, depending on how you drive. Now, the key to it is keeping it under.
That's the asshole that won't go faster.
No, you can go fast, but you need to keep it about 75 or lower. When you start trying to get into that 80 mile an hour range, you're going to see it drop down to about 40 miles to the gallon. But a motorcycle as well.
I always get behind the new guy that just got it, and he's
bikes suck on consumption. At least mine did. That's right, Adrian.
He's going
everywhere we go.
He's going for the record. He's like trying to break the record.
Carcane, 2 Prius, or is it a Prii? Okay, so he's got 2 Prius, and they get 51 to 52 miles to the gallon. Dude, they're great. And I had a friend
they're just ugly as hell.
They had a company that they ran them as fleet vehicles. Those things got like 200,000 miles.
They need a tactical Prius.
Those things are badass. Now they have all-wheel drive. Tesla. Okay, true story. I actually went to
see how he gets excited when you start talking.
Oh, this is so funny. Yeah.
Hey, can you hit the thumbs up button? Because I gotta put up with this dumbass talking about cars.
Guys, I went. There used to be a place called Legion Operator Training Grounds. Okay, and it was a place for military police. You had a lot of training there. It was kind of like another Blackwater. And anyway, we were there shooting a task force dagger match, and we had torrential rains for like a week. And this place. We want to talk about like this Georgia, Alabama clay that's like this thick, right? Slicker than owl shit. And that's look it up. If you don't believe me, that's a Southern term, slicker than owl shit. There's some funny stuff on it. But anyway, everybody was getting stuck in their 4-wheel drive F-150 Chevrolet, their 1500s.
Lord,
and I got this tactical Prius. If you don't believe it, you can ask.
Sweet baby Jesus.
You can ask everyone. I have this Prius. And there was one stage, and it was like, you talking about rallying a Prius. Holy crap. So this thing was going every which way you could think. I was passing every truck that was stuck on the side of the road. I get to the stage, we shoot the stage, and we leave. Everybody's like, how in the hell did you do that? I was like, it's the Prius, man. It's the Prius.
Slicker than a snot on
Slicker than a snot on a doorknob. All right. Yeah, I love cars, man. You need to get a dirt bike or an enduro. Go enduro. You'll never be happier, Davey J. There's nothing worse than having the trailer all the time, throw it in the back of the truck all the time. You get something that's like a true enduro. I don't mean getting like a R1200 GS or something like that where it's really more of a road tour. Get you something like a KTM, like a 400 or 450 EXC or something like that, where you can really get hardcore with it, but you can still go to the gas station and do stuff like that. What are you laughing at? Anyway, I sold that Prius shortly there afterwards because I took it to get an oil change. And the guy opened the hood and he's like,
what the hell?
Dude, do you off-road with this thing? And I was like, why? He's like, there's mud everywhere. I mean, I never opened the hood on it, you know, when I brought it in for the service. And so, I mean, it was just caked in mud under the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so I sold it and bought the new one. Anyway.
That's out of control.
KTM is the best enduro, in my opinion. John Townley, I 100% agree. I love KTMs. They're great. You wouldn't believe me if I told you how much snow the Prius has plowed through. Saved my butt like you wouldn't believe. Worst snowstorm in a decade. Just made east of Denver, and a dang Prius made it. Yeah, I mean, you know, you have that thing. It's front-wheel drive. They have all-wheel drive now. Did I have ARCA rails in that Prius?
That's right.
So if you don't know,
what you don't know, you don't know.
If you've never been in a Prius, it's almost like
it's a space.
It's like, how can you get this much headroom and this much space in this little thing? So do you know that garbage can that I gave you? One of those wheeled garbage cans that most people have when they roll out to the front curb, that actually fit in my Prius.
I could, yeah.
Absolutely. Just lay the seats down, put it in the back. But when you take the back of the Prius and lift it up, there's a little tool tray there. You can lift that up. There's another one there. That will fit you can put machine guns in there and everything. And it's like the freaking John Wick Prius of all times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to catch,
fit, obviously.
I used to catch hell for that. For those that know, I mean, those that know. But I used to be on a team and I would show up with this Prius, and these guys would laugh me out of the house. I mean, they were like, dude, I can't believe you showed up to freaking training in a Prius. And I was like, yep. And I'd open up the back and there's freaking just
machine guns,
armament coming out of the back. It was awesome. It was fun stuff. Fun stuff. I drove a Tesla, badass. John Kreiderman, they are great vehicles. Great vehicles. Yamaha versus KTM.
What a bad Billy.
KTM, but Yamaha isn't terrible. It really depends. Okay. If you're going to do something like pure on motocross or supercross, there's probably better choices. But if you're going to do enduro, hair scrambles, things like that, it's hard to beat Orange. I mean, it really is. The maintenance schedule, you gotta know how to work on those things. And sometimes they are a pain in the ass, but I love KTMs. Sorry, no Prius for me.
Honor, those things are from Japan, I believe.
What's that?
The Prius.
Yeah, the Prius is Toyota.
It's
yeah,
Toyota.
It's Toyota, so that's going to be Japanese.
I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
Mini Coopers handle corners like a boss. You know what? They do. They're not bad. I actually filmed the video.
Here we go.
Yeah, I filmed a video with the Mini Cooper. I did a video commercial with minis, and they're really, really cool. Until they come out with a 4-wheel drive. The thing is, man, just having that constant velocity transmission, unless you're running the stick like you should in a Mini Cooper, it was just changing gears. But they're fun cars. Matter of fact, Assurance Arms right there. Where did he go? He had a yellow one, just like that. Isyour6 covered down there. It looked like that smiley face. He used to drive that into work. I'm like, dude, you driving a sunshine yellow Mini Cooper?
Did he have eyeballs on it and a smiley face?
And you guys haven't met Scott.
They've seen him on the video, man.
Scott's this big burly guy with this Grizzly Adams beard and everything else.
Hell? Seriously, listening.
Listen to me.
They're listening to us.
Otter says Prius sucks. Ray, love those Suzuki Samurais also. Yes, we already had this story.
Oh, shit, here we
Yeah,
go.
okay. You don't want me getting started.
No, you can get
No,
started.
it's okay.
Roll
So I had a
down.
Suzuki Samurai 10 top that I completely rebuilt from the ground up.
I'll be back in 5. I'm gonna use the restroom.
Overboard it, and that thing, man, you could run. If you could run 90, it would run 90 down the interstate. And I had this thing right. I mean, really nice suspension, everything.
Those things
I
can't
used
go 90 miles an hour.
Bullshit, dude, they can't.
Really?
But anyway, the thing is if you go to some place and you're big into off-roading, and I don't mean going to the little gravel roads and going on forest service roads, but those Suzuki Samurais still remain some of the most capable vehicles in stock form because it's almost like a big four-wheeler. They have a really, really small, I know they can tip over easily, but as far as traversing really rocky terrain, they're incredible. Resto Mod Samurai. I saw your Top Shot application sent on the bumper. Yeah, that was before it was completely rebuilt. I hate that video still exists. If I could take it down, I would, but that was an old account. I have no account passwords, and I need to take that off of there somehow because that actually has all the names and everything else on it. Suzuki Prius, and you are all about USA made. Yeah, I am. I am all about USA made when it comes to me making products or anything like that. And I like supporting American made. But let's face it, guys. I mean, when it comes to vehicles, it's hard to beat the Japanese products. I mean, I drive an American vehicle, but how much of it's American made? Most of that stuff's outsourced in Mexico. Hell, you can't even buy BMWs without half the stuff being sourced out in Mexico. And a lot of those companies have facilities in North America now. You have Mercedes with all the MLs and all that being built down in Alabama. You have BMW down in Greenville, South Carolina. You have Volkswagen with a facility now, I think, in Tennessee. You've got, I mean, all Toyota, all of them, they're all coming here stateside. Even KTM 4 made, it's actually made in Austria. You ever heard about the Ford Escort Cosworth, best rally car ever? Of course, I know the Ford Escort Cosworth. Give me another favorite of mine is the Subaru, the WRX STI. I got to spend 30 days on a track with one, 8 hours a day. We were doing a bunch of T&E with that car, and I fell in love with that thing. It is underpowered compared to most of the stuff that I was on a track with. I mean, it's only had 300 horsepower. And when you're used to 500, 600, 700 horses, it's underpowered, but the handling incredible. For a daily driver, great car. Not good on transmissions. If you have a misfire in PRS or rimfire PRS, will it be counted against you as a fired shot? For example, you use up one of the 2 shots as at a 2-shot target. If it doesn't fire, you can just recycle. Okay. So they don't count it as a shot as far as I know. I know that when we were out in Utah shooting, if for whatever reason, or if you close the bolt and something doesn't happen, if you didn't fire at it, you can get back on it again. I think it's actually 2 shots. The big 3, FCA 4GM here in Michigan, all sourced from Chinese, India, German, and Japanese suppliers. Absolutely Shibalsiki. That's what I was saying. There's nothing truly American anymore.
That's production 6 Creed.
Toyota has an excellent reputation for reliability.
I don't know the answer.
Yes, they do, and they're almost impossible to beat. I think the only thing that really has them beat is what is it, Lexus possibly, but that's Toyota. I will tell you a big surprise is Kia is really known for reliability, and that is Korean, believe it or not. But they've come a long ways. Their reliability rating is way up there. Don't own a Kia, but I've been in a lot of them. Best production 6 Creed.
I don't know anybody making one yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you got the Ruger Precision Rimfire, which you can get in 6 Creed. They offer that. So bang for the buck, that's probably going to be a good option. But you have a bunch of other ones out there and a bunch of, so like Patriot Valley. Is it Patriot Valley? Yeah, they do one, the John Hancock, or that style rifle. You can get that. That would still be a production 6 Creed. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I'm sure Bergara. Bergara is probably making a 6 Creed.
I don't know though.
Can't say much for Honda cars. We got a 2007 Honda 4Trax that just won't die. You can't kill a Honda. You really can't. Lexus has some of the best luxury cars. Yes, they do. The new Dodge TRX is a Raptor Shelby killer.
Kent County, where's that at? Is that in North Khaki?
Now, guys, answer this question.
David J.
Has Dodge gotten any better about being able to keep a transmission in anything?
What are you looking at me for?
Because I want to see how many haters we have out there. Did KTM ever produce the Crossbow car or just concept? You know, I don't know.
Wait, where's that one at?
Makev.
Did Kate?
The Crossbow car? It was like, I guess,
There
one
was
of those
a
trikes, those three.
There's a.
I don't know. They were doing freaking bicycles.
There's a car that has a Crossbow car that's not KTM, but somebody else. Because I've seen this.
Yeah.
That's
James Smith says
not
masterpiece, and I would agree with that. So you got the MPA and then also the Patriot. He mentioned that as well.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
You'd have to pay me to own a Ram. Dodge sucks. I knew somebody was going to say that, so I had to ask my question. I've never owned a Dodge product. I've had a lot of time in Dodge vehicles.
You owned a Jeep, didn't you?
Well, yeah, at the time. Originally it wasn't, and then they got bought out.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't have any Jeeps that were Dodge at the time, or Dodge owned, because mine were older. But I did spend a lot of time in the SRT 12, that big pickup truck that has the V12 in it with the Viper motor.
Talking Rock must have a Dodge. Bull crap.
If you were going to sleep now, would you say good night to me? Good night, Otter. Have a good one.
Night.
My Jeep has a Mercedes Manny transmission.
Ram hater
Jeeps
here.
just don't seem to be Jeeps anymore. They don't.
Problem is I don't know. You buy a Jeep for $45,000 or whatever, and then you put $45,000 in it, and then you get like 8 miles to the gallon, and they just if you could buy a Jeep with a Toyota in it, I would buy one.
Look at Bad Billy's comment.
Bad
A Ram hater here also, but I make a lot of money fixing them.
Bad Billy's a Ford guy.
Everything but garages. KTM Crossbow was a 4-wheel track focused car. Did make production. Didn't know that. Nice. Yes, Asian, not their trans. My 2018 120 mile on 8-speed transmission.
Yeah, the Gladiator is a POS. Shibalseki says. I don't
Worst
know.
one,
I've
most
been in
expensive to
one.
maintain was the Dodge.
I haven't 4-wheeled one, but I've been in one of the Gladiators.
Yeah, that's it, Carcane, the V10. There was a standing bet with a guy that was local where I used to live, and he had one of those pickup trucks. And he bet me that he said he could never drift it because it was so light in the back end. That was one of the best drift vehicles I'd ever been in. We went to a stadium where we had permission to actually go out there and drift. And I took that pickup truck and said, look, I'm not responsible for the tires. He goes, burn them down. I want to see you actually drift this through a whole course. Never missed a lick with that thing. That thing was unfreaking believable. However, his transmission did drop a couple thousand miles later. Everybody I know that has Dodges, the trannies go out. Gordon Law says he got one with 900,000 miles. That's pretty impressive. Awesome.
A
Jeep
Dodge?
Gladiator is a POS.
Wow, that's awesome.
My son has a Dodge Ram 2500 diesel. I think he overcompensates. I didn't say I couldn't pull the house down. They have some engines, no doubt.
I like the new Dodges compared to the old ones. Remember, it took them till like the 90s to get rid of the 70.
Body style.
Yeah, it was like, good God.
Other Tim Davis. So he says the worst thing Toyota did was drop the FJ Cruiser. I owned an FJ Cruiser, loved it. And then the tranny started going out on it. And so I sold it. I really liked that vehicle.
Cummins diesel, the Ford diesels are trash. Yeah, my Ford diesel sucks ass.
A lot of guys jumping ship on the new Bronco because you can store the doors inside. His 2005 Ram is dependable.
I haven't seen it in person, but I waited years and years for that Bronco to come out and finally gave up on it, and then they showed up finally. Frozen Framer, what's up? I've owned 2 Dodge vehicles and 6 transmissions.
Wow, John Townley says that he had a 2018 Ford. They wouldn't warranty it because he had oversized tires. Which they usually need a different gear, and you need to have.
He got back up and went to work the next day. No, damn,
I own 2 Dodge vehicles and 6 transmissions. Ever drove a Porsche? Simon Klein, about every model that they make. I had a lot of time on a track with pretty much every Porsche. I don't care if it's a GT3, the Macan, the Turbos, the Caymans. that was my job. And that's what I did.
Yeah. You drove around crazy.
I drove around all crazy. I like them. I would never, they're kind of like BMW and any of the premium brands. I never owned one out of warranty at all. As a matter of fact, I have two friends that have Macan turbos and special ordered those. And those are great vehicles, but they're always having to go in for some type of warranty recall or something.
What's the
great vehicles.
most expensive car you've ever driven?
The Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce is owned by BMW, but you name it, Rolls-Royce, I've been in it, whether it's the Ghost or, man, there's so many different models. I was like, holy crap, what is that thing? Those are Rolls. Like, it doesn't even look like a Rolls, you know?
I know you got to drive some like concept-y cars.
Yeah. So a lot of time behind the wheel of really high-end cars. You know, it's a shame I didn't have a YouTube channel then, because I could have reviewed some stuff that was really, really one-off. I've been in some cars that are over $1 million. And yeah, Dree and Neil, never buy an Audi. And Audi makes a great car. They really do. Looking. But once they're out of warranty, like a BMW, get rid of that thing.
And a Mercedes probably too.
Yeah, and a Mercedes.
All of them are like that, huh? They don't care anyways. You're buying a car like that.
Yeah, at that point, you probably don't care anyway. I'm 50. Talking Rock, I'm 50 years old. I never buy a Mercedes. Let's see. Give me a Ram 2500 or F250 any day.
He's asking how old you are because you've done like 12 people's worth of life experience.
I have, and I've said that before. Yeah. If I die tomorrow, I've lived 5 lives. I mean, I really have, and I've been blessed. The Lord has blessed me.
What does Ray do? And I'm like, I don't know if I have time to answer this shit.
All right.
You take the whole rest.
Power steering pump on a Mercedes C250 is $650.
Good Lord, Abigail.
That's cheap. That sounds cheap. They give me crazy lease deals here in Michigan for FCA products. They can't sell their products.
Nice Shaggy Rifleman.
We'll see you, Shaggy Rifleman. He's the one that had the bad tooth, right?
Yeah. How's your tooth?
How's your tooth?
Our teeth.
Getting better, I hope.
Yeah.
I've been in everything from up armored vehicles to you name it. Ramming vehicles. It's crazy. Craziness.
I used
to teach it.
How many helicopters you been in?
10 maybe.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah, at least 10.
Tell Rick you must have changed jobs a lot. I don't got time for all that. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met him, I'm like, this guy will never shut up. No, I was just kidding. I'm like, damn, you did that? You know, you did that.
I'll tell you, to be serious, Talking Rock, I've done a lot of different things, but I've been able to keep jobs and be able to go back to them. And most of the jobs were like 10 years. That seems to be like my number. I'll stay with the company for like 10 years. And then I'll either leave, try something else. Then I'll go back to that company because I usually leave in good standing. But yeah, that's kind of the way it's been.
You ever skydive?
No, but I want to. I want to do that.
Shit.
We're supposed to do that in March.
What do you mean we're supposed to do that?
I'm supposed to do that. I'm already signed up and everything else. Supposed to be doing it in March.
Where at?
I've been wanting to do it. I don't want to go tandem. I'd rather go solo, but I understand you got to do it tandem so many times.
You just want a guy hugging your ass as well.
Yeah.
Rick got one.
Yeah,
Matt.
Scott,
I get
this spring, Ford and Jeep has a new vehicle coming out that no one yet has seen yet.
Ford and Jeep?
Interesting. It used to be an import car service. Sweetest and fastest ride ever driven. 97 Porsche 911 with 10 turbo all-wheel drive. Yeah, I mean, and that was a good car back in the day. And I've had a lot of time behind that model year and those model years. And you know, it's a fast car, but compared to what they've got nowadays, holy crud, it's insane. It's insane. And you know,
that's your surprise, Rick. You're going skydiving in March.
See, he doesn't even know it.
Shit, I didn't work there.
You know what, Scott? I know you was airborne. That's why you get that symbol right there. You know, but you didn't have a chance. You had to go solo, right?
That's right.
But somebody else pulled your cord for you. My first car was a junkyard Pinto, which I restored drivetrain and paint at 15 years old.
Live streaming on it.
You can get it done in Rayford, North Carolina. That's right. Rayford, that's the home of Defender Ammunition. That's where they're out of.
It's only a couple hours away. 4,
And
5.
I think Rayford is also home to G Code, or at least it used to be.
G Code, baby.
I did drive a Triumph TVR6 back in the day. I have driven the Datsuns. It was the B210, I think.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude.
My mom had one of those.
Okay, I owned both. TR6 was the most fun. The Z was very well engineered. Man, I've
Look at
owned
that. Big Johnson had a Pinto, baby.
Okay, so
302 Boss.
I have
Yeah.
owned a lot of cars.
You would not even imagine.
You can't even imagine.
You
I mean,
know
everything
what?
from Miatas
Wait.
to S2000s to.
Put a comment below how many vehicles that you think Ray has
Oh,
had.
no,
No,
okay, I'm not even going to go there.
Just say-
X-Ring is not of this world. I'm convinced of it.
he's not. He's an alien, baby.
That's why I like that pistol.
There it is.
The alien. Alien's the alien. My dad had a 280Z. Actually, I did run a Mazda. What was the other one? I ran it the Mazda Shootout series. It was the Mazda. What was the old one that had it was a rotary engine that had a really long front end? Oh, it was a Mazda.
Then it was a Mazda?
It's the 280Z, isn't it?
They have a 280Z, but it ain't that long.
Well, it was an old classic, like Roadster style. I think it's a 280Z. No, Nissan. Nissan is the 280.
Hey, I know.
That's the good drift car.
I think I know.
I'm getting old. See, I can't even remember.
No.
Hold on. We're getting close. Somebody's getting close.
Somebody's getting close.
Townley. I think you're going to be the closest without getting the right answer, without getting the exact number. But at least, and motorcycles close to that many. Anyone else pissed off FBI did background checks and National Guard members protect the Capitol because 90 are male and only 25% of the voting for Biden. I did see that. I read that today.
Wait, what? I'm going to read that again.
XR7. I think that's it.
Anyone else pissed off?
That's it. That's the Mazda. RX-7. That's it. The RX-7. It's the RX-7 for sure.
Oh, there's a lot of RX-7s, yeah.
Yep, that was it.
Could watch
RX-7,
the Black
that's
Knights
it.
train every day.
Nissan also had a 240. 240 is a popular drift car. Got a chance to driving a lot of those. And that's like anytime somebody's getting into drifting, that's the first thing they build is like a 240.
But you got to have that big old pipe on the back because that makes it makes it drift better.
Okay, so LZ USA, BMW used a lot of different tire manufacturers. Typically, what you're going to see is, and you have no choice, okay? You have no choice unless you're buying one off the showroom floor. But if let's say you order one from BMW, it can have Continentals as OEM. It can have Pirellis as OEM, Bridgestones as OEM, and it also depends on the model. Those are the most popular ones that you're going to see. Every once in a while, you'll see Dunlop. Some tires are better than others. Michelin's are another good one, I will tell you. And I've done so much tire and track testing. The best tire, in my opinion, that you can possibly buy, love the French or hate the French, it doesn't matter, is a Michelin. Michelin makes some of the best tires in the world. If you're looking for something sport, track, whatever, it's hard to beat Michelin, period.
And did you know that they had a compound to make the tire?
Yeah, you actually so this came up in conversation. They have the ability to make tires that don't squeal or make noise, okay? And they actually add stuff to that to actually give you that feedback that your tire's breaking grip to make noise. They also can add color to it so that when you're drifting, you can actually have green smoke, blue smoke, or whatever smoke color.
What?
Absolutely.
Oh, shit. I got to give you some of that.
For real? True stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. It's Pilot Sport, most consistent tire ever. The Michelin Pilot Sport is a great tire. It really is. Rick, you now have a car channel.
I do. Thanks, Matt.
Ray, what's the best tire on a street bike, track bike? Oh.
What's crazy is we start out with machine.
Man, you know, I'll tell you, if you're talking about full track, like full on track, we're talking into getting slicks where we're talking about road racing and everything else. You got like Dunlops, you've got Michelins. If you can afford the Michelins, those are great. Now, on a street bike, I typically ran Michelins. I was a huge Michelin fan, but some of the tires that you're looking for, you couldn't get. It took a while for Michelin to get into the enduro bike tires. They did come up with one eventually, but Anaki's, let's see, Touratech. No, not Touratech. It was Metzler. Metzler had a really good tire. There were also some other ones, but it depends on if you're looking for 80-20 or 50-50 or 90-10 type mix.
It's going to be a
Want to
test.
drift my daughter's Mini?
Hell yeah.
Well, that Mini is a front-wheel drive or it's an all-wheel drive. And yes, you can drift it, but it's going to be it's basically going to be throwing it out there, but you're not going to hold that drift and keep driving it because it's going to straighten out.
What's the point of the parking brake deal? Is that just to get the tires to?
Once you lock up, you break grip. So like on a lot of the drift cars, or if you've got a handbrake or anything else, if you're going around a corner, all you got to do is just tap that handbrake. The back end's going to come around,
and then just nothing but gas from there.
And that's oversteer. Yeah, but it's not just nothing but gas from there. Okay, that's where everybody messes up. They spin out immediately thereafter.
Yeah.
So if you're going around, let's say a constant radius or not even a constant radius circle, and I want to get this thing into oversteer. You know what? We always have so much fun when we did this.
Hey, I got this test for you right now.
What's that?
See that shit?
No, it ain't no test. I'm going to eat that thing is what's going to happen.
I was just going to see how long it is. Piedmont, this is not cold. That doesn't need to be cold. Ain't nobody got time for that. We got old Elster out there, Mr. Todd himself.
I think on the last chat,
Elster's
we were just getting into ways that you can create oversteer.
That's right.
We were, and we stopped there.
And we got this too.
The whiteboard of knowledge.
Whiteboard of knowledge.
All right, where's the thing at? I don't think we ever got finished with this.
We never
All
started.
right, guys.
Holy shit.
Oversteer. Okay.
Okay, so you got this circle, right?
Steer. How many different ways can we induce oversteer in a vehicle?
4.
Well, no, I want you guys to tell me. There might be 1, there might be 10.
4, I'm going with 4. I don't know the answer.
I don't know. Is there 3? Let's see. Here we go. Science alert. Oversteer. The car is moving forwards. We're going around this corner here.
Sorry, Lance.
Okay, we're going around this corner, and the back end comes around.
That's
oversteer.
Oversteer.
Okay, so how can we induce oversteer?
With
a Scandi flick.
Too much. What?
Okay, hold on. Scandi flick, Dream meal. Scandinavian flick. I call it a Scandi flick.
Or you go like this. All right.
Okay, let's talk about Scandi flick and what is Scandi flick.
Are you guys ready to talk about Scandi flicks?
Yeah, let's turn this camera up here.
Oh,
we're gonna get real here.
Oh man.
All right. So this is your vehicle going down the road.
This is you.
Now
on drugs.
A Scandi flick means all right. So we want the back end to come around to the right. Okay, this is the back of the car and this is the front of the car. The car is going away from you guys. Okay.
Control.
Let me go ahead and draw a hood on here.
What the hell's my liquor shit?
This is the forward direction of the car. You guys can see the arrow. So what happens is if I want to break the back end around, what I want to do is I want to steer to the right. And what that's going to do is compress the suspension, okay? It's going to compress the suspension on the right side. And then when it comes back up, now we've made this back end light.
You want a better
So
car?
if I'm going to the left, all I have to do is turn right and then back left, and that compression, I wait for it, the back end will come around. So that is one way. So winner, Scandi flick. What else do we have? Power. That's correct. George Wilson says power.
Handbrake too.
Yeah. Okay. So Drian says handbrake, but let's talk about them. Power oversteer. Power oversteer is going to require power. It's got to have power. So you're going around this corner and you've got this 600 horsepower car.
That's it.
And you go boom, and you stomp on the gas, it breaks grip, or you lose traction out of the rear tires, the back end starts to come around, okay? So that is correct. We have power oversteer, so there's 2. Now, we can also do the handbrake. Now, the handbrake, you're going around the corner, you can lift up lightly on the handbrake, or if you got a drift car, you can pull back on it. What's going to happen is tires are going to lock up momentarily, and it's going to start coming around. Let's see, what else? Hold on, let's see.
Brake, e-brake.
Acceleration. Okay, acceleration, Jerry Parker, would be part of power oversteer. I prefer a Scandi skin flick.
Ice.
Rick, instead of that black curtain, you should just put up a blackboard so Ray can teach class. All right. Rick, I hope you don't have sugar seizure.
I'll be fine.
Okay. I'm still not seeing it. Still not seeing it. I think we need to, you know what? I'll give away an X-Ring hat. I've never sold one of these. I'll give away an X-Ring hat with hashtag still a dick on the back. If you can tell me another way of inducing oversteer in a car. It actually has a technical term. And in instructor terms, we say C Porsche. Back in the old days, you were talking about the older.
Oh, I know.
911s.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
I want it. Somebody's got to get it exactly right. Let's see.
I want a
Clutch kick. Yeah, you can clutch kick it, but that's the same thing as locking it up. And what that will do is that's basically like a handbrake. It is because you're basically braking it.
I don't know.
Pack a PBR will do it. Trail braking. John Townley, you're getting close. You're getting close. Come on, somebody's got to get it. It's 3 letters. They always use it as a initialism, basically. Come on. Here we go. We're gonna play hangman here. There's 1, 2, 3. All right, straighten out, tap the brake, accelerator, foot to the floor, watch F1.
Oh, I know what it is.
Whiskey, Minnesota trail brake. Nope. What? No, somebody's got to get it. It's 2 initials right here.
3.
Come on. Or 3 initials right here. No one. All right.
Aren't they in everybody's car?
Nobody wins a hat tonight. All right.
Hat.
Ready? TTO. Anyone? No, ABS does not create oversteer. Holy crap. Okay.
They were listening to me.
So TTO is trailing.
Never fall for my tricks.
Trailing. Dang, this is like a bad word. That's supposed to be Scandi flick. Okay, that looks like a bad word. That's flick. Okay,
that's a flock.
Okay, so TTO or trailing throttle oversteer is
PSA.
You're going, and somebody got the idea. You're going along when you let off of the gas.
Yeah,
the weight goes forwards, okay, because you've just come off of the gas pedal.
That means the
anytime you
light.
come off the gas, the back end comes light, and you could be going. This is how most Porsche drivers back in the day got in trouble and got killed before all of these safety systems that are in there right now. So what would happen is they're driving along, they go into this corner, and they're like, "Oh man, and where's the engine on that Porsche? It's not in the front, or where most engines are. It's in the back. So the back's a little heavier." You go into the corner, like, oh crap. The first thing most people do when they get into a corner and they get in too hot, the very first thing they do is to come off the gas. Well, the back end becomes light, the weight shifts to the front of the car, and it starts to come around.
Even with
it's called trailing throttle oversteer. So,
what up, S5? Even with the rear motor?
Yeah, because the back is light, because all the weight is in the back. And so you're going around the corner, you're putting power down.
Oh, it throws it faster.
Yes, and it comes around too quickly. And that's how so many people got in trouble. TTO was how the Audi Quattro guys killed it in the 80s. Yep, trailing throttle oversteer is if you know what you're doing with it. And when you get into trail braking, a lot of people use that term. They don't really understand what it is, what it truly is. Because you can trail brake with a motorcycle as well as... That's what trail braking is. So, John Townley, this is what I'm getting into with the trail braking. Okay, so if you don't brake and you just come off the gas, that's 2 different things, okay? So, trail braking, you're saying trail braking. TTO doesn't require any brakes at all, okay? So, you're telling me that the term trail braking means that there's no brake involved. Is that what you're saying? That's what I need to clarify here, because a lot of people don't understand what true trail braking is. Trail braking is coming off the gas, but it's applying enough brake to where the weight gets on the front and it comes around, but you're applying the brake. TTO doesn't require brakes to do that. It's just merely coming off the gas.
Lance, I think, that will be an issue with the C8 Corvettes.
No brakes must be applied. Okay, correct. No brakes must be applied, but that you can't say trail braking is the same as TTO. Okay, because you can trail brake and get rotation by applying the brakes. This right here will get it to rotate
Big John
without
says,
it.
Jake, break that bitch.
Jake, brake that bitch. Okay, we talking special driving procedures. Yep, for sure.
We're out of
With
control.
gas or without gas, they have direct effects. Correct, they do. They do. We specifically taught this in corners at BMW, and it was part of the performance track, basically a performance center. And we taught a lot with trail braking. Most people can't get it. Most people don't understand how it works. When we were talking about calm circle in the last episode, which is a while ago, you can exceed that circle if you're using the trail braking, okay, or you're using TTO, technically. Basically, what you're doing is you're rotating the car to set it up on exit of a corner, but you're getting it to rotate as you're going into the corner, okay? Most oftentimes, and I think John Townley understands what it is, but I think to most people listening, you're thinking, okay, trail braking means I'm basically holding the brakes as I'm going into a corner.
Not Elster.
And that's part of it, but you're actually doing it for a different reason. It's to change your exit out of it.
Out of the turn?
Yeah, guys, so I'm not just one of these guys that's just talking out of my ass. I mean, you know, I do have an international instructor certification with BMW. I've been on the track with a ton of guys, everybody from Boris said to all of whether it was, you know, NASCAR guys, any of that other stuff. And this is what I did for my living. And so I'm not trying to make this into a BMW class, but I think it's pretty cool to share this because this is stuff that I've never been able to share before on a public platform. And so, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, since we can't talk guns anymore because YouTube.
Because they're going to shut us down at some point.
So we're going to teach car driving.
Ray, what about slick surfaces?
They're slippery.
What do you? Yeah, it's slippery. It's slicker than owl snot. It depends on
a
what you're asking.
I put it on a brass doorknob.
So I've done a lot of driving and teaching on something. If you guys know what a mu pad is, not moo like a cow, but mu pad. It's a pad that has a different coefficient of friction, just like you have different coefficient of frictions on different tracks. Like on asphalt has a different coefficient of friction than concrete. Polished concrete surfaces are different. Think about parking structures. You go in, your tires are wet, you barely turn the tires and they squeal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it depends on what your question is, Jerry Parker, with regards to slick surfaces.
See, John Townley.
Anyone ever drove a rear-wheel drive car with spider gears broken from the drag strip? Anyone drove a rear-wheel drive car with the spider gears broken from the drag strip? Oh. Yeah, I know what he's talking about now. He's talking about he went up to a track day and probably messed up the rear end of the car and had to get home because he didn't trailer it there and run down the drag. He was doing passes.
Yeah, you got to.
Right, yes, I agree. I've been racing cars and motorcycles for over 20 years, mainly motorcycles. Yeah, John Townley sounds just like me, except I think I've been doing it now for 40 years. I got out of it recently. I don't heal as quickly, but that's awesome to know, John. For sure. I was also an international instructor for BMW Motorrad. And so, you know, sponsored with them, doing any of the rallies. One of my best friends actually did the Paris-Dakar multiple times. I was invited to go over there. And then, yeah, whether it's on-road or off-road, I've been all over the world on 2 wheels and 4. So most slick surfaces create understeer. Yes, they can, but a lot of that has to do with the tires as well, Thriller Rob. So if you have more wear in the back or in the front, that can cause a problem. It's easy to fix understeer, just straighten out the angle of steering. Can't always do that if you're trying to make a turn. One of the things they used to do is I would get on a huge skid pad, and basically we're driving around this corner. You just take steering wheel and go, bah, and it's basically just pushing. And you're going straight, and then you can just straighten it back out. It's that quick.
What's the whole noise thing for?
Because that front end's going to go bah as it's pushing across.
Because the wheels are chattering.
Yeah, because the wheels are sideways. You're going straight, and what you do is you just show them at any point I can induce understeer. And it'll just come in, and I go back straight again. And if you wanted to do oversteer, then you could throw it around, do whatever you want to do, power oversteer, whatever. Understeer is pretty easy to fix, but most people don't know how to fix it. Most people, when you start to get understeer, they induce more steering angle. It is, if I had to put a number on it, and guys,
understeer is when you're coming around a corner, but you're not going to make the corner.
Understeer is when your front tires lose grip, and then now you're no longer going on that path, and the car pushes out.
Oh.
Okay, so understeer, basically, I need my little Twinkie donut. Understeer is we're trying to take this car and go around this corner here,
Yep.
and the front end loses grip, and it starts going this way. Okay,
That's understeer.
that's understeer. Okay,
That's because the guy hasn't cranked it over enough.
so our tire has grip, but if you take your wheels or your front wheels, let's say this front wheels, and we turn it to the point where they're pushing instead of actually turning, that's understeer.
Okay.
Okay. So most people, and when I say most, guys, I'm talking, if I took every one of you guys, with the exception of maybe John Townley, because he's raced for 20 years, and maybe some of you that have practiced a lot on a track, almost everyone, when they get understeer, what they do is they add more correction.
Drying.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so just hear me out. Once they lose grip, what they do is they add more. And then the problem is it doesn't change anything because adding more steering angle is going to make the situation worse. But when people get in trouble, what do they usually do? They take their foot off the what? Yes. Off the gas. Weight goes forwards. It adds more downforce. And now it hooks and boom. You guys ever get out on the interstate and see that set of black tires, the black marks that go boom, straight into the guardrail? Boom, just like that. That's what happened. They tried to stop. They turned the wheels. The wheels didn't do anything. They went straight. The car started to slow down. It regained grip and boom, hooked them right into the wall. Call it a hook. Let's see what else. Understeer is the result of turning too much. Then they turn harder.
So when in doubt,
John Townley, exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
When in doubt, throttle out.
But have you ever been pole vaulted by a front U-joint coming off of a truck drive shaft? I have. It wasn't fun. No, I've never pole vaulted off one, but I can just imagine that happen, hitting and then digging. Understeer is common in front wheel drive. Yes, it can be. It can be. Let's see. Used to bootleg at 80. It was a blast. Yep.
Like a moonshine.
Not BMW certified though, like X-Ring. Okay, whatever. I did a lot of pro-am drift competitions, time attack events, kind of know grip or drift techniques and how to set up vehicles up for either. Yep. That's actually cool. Did not know that about you, +5. But I think he's out in Cali. It's pretty popular out there.
That's just to get to work. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. I used to teach out at Fontana out there, actually.
Oh, Kentucky?
At 80 miles an hour on the highway. Y'all marks. Let's see. No, but I have drove one with the rear gills welded. Yeah, I've actually done that as well. I had a BMW M3. We welded up the rear end. We had set that up for a drift car. And anytime you go around the corner, because it can't turn. It's trying to turn at the same rate. Up north, we have ice on the roads, and we learn how to drive on the ice. Yeah, BMW actually has a school in Arsenal, Sweden, and you can go over there, and they actually set up famous courses, and it's all on ice. It's actually really, really cool the way they do that. And there's facilities all over Europe that BMW has that they do a lot of training with. It's pretty cool stuff. It's great stuff, actually. And if you never messed around, I mean, see, like guys from the South or guys from California, Florida, you don't understand the differences that snow tires can actually make. And it is incredible what they'll do for you in the snow and ice.
Straight up snow tires, no studs.
No studs. Straight up snow tires. Like you can basically, like demonstration, you can take snow tires and you can just take a cambered road and have vehicles stopped. You can just push on the back of it and the car just starts sliding down. Yeah. And then you can get snow tires and you're not pushing it. There's that much of a difference. Wow. In most of the north, the New England states and up north, any place where it's cold, you'll actually switch tires. You'll actually have a set of snow tires, and then you'll have a set of summer tires. We don't get that down here in the South, so it's not important. But yeah, snow tires make a huge difference.
So when's the difference between when you go from a snow tire to a studded snow tire?
Huge difference. Anytime.
No, when would you?
Ice would be a
just big straight up like 10 feet of ice. I've seen like stop signs like this high off the road because it's
yeah. Now see, I've driven on a lot of that out in Tahoe, but it was packed snow.
Yeah.
So you're still good on that. Studded is always going to help, but if you get in ice situations, the studs are going to help tremendously.
I saw a lady the other day just over at the Taco Bell.
Yeah.
She had studded tires.
You're kidding.
No, I shit you not.
In the middle of summer, we have like no snow here. Anyway,
I'm
try racing motorcycles on ice with steel studs in the tire. It's a lot. Yeah. I mean, some of those spikes are like that freaking big, and you get some heinous battle scars. I practiced driving in reverse in my local Walmart parking lot. You can hear the difference on dry pavement from a snow tire to regular tires. Oh, absolutely. But you're going to kill them on dry pavement. Just going to burn them down. So the
compound's just super soft?
I run snow tires, and I'm just about 2.5. Yeah, they are softer compound. Run about 2.5 hours
out here.
Yeah, what's up, Parlusk?
He's down the way.
Dang, here we go talking about cars again. This is when I get excited.
I know, I can tell. It all gets
love it.
You go from machine guns, 4x4s. What? Did somebody say BMW?
Does Ray live there or next door? I live right down the road, Armor.
He's right down the road.
We're like neighbors now. See, before it wasn't like that.
It was like 20 minutes.
But the problem is I had to come over here because, hold on, I did over 100 grid on my track setup E36 M3. I actually had the exact same car, E36 M3. Before I sold it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it is. So we're like neighbors, but he has internet service and I don't, because I live on the mountain. He lives at the bottom of the mountain.
Hydroplane at 75 will really get your attention.
And I don't sleep. So we use to disable ABS and add switches on all of our Texas Walker Ranger effects for the old TV show. Chuck Norris was the man. Yeah, there's a time and place to not have ABS. For most people, ABS is a lifesaver. For most people, stability and traction controls are a lifesaver, but there are times you don't want it. Yeah, hydroplaning at 75 will get your attention. That's fun. I know, Ray, your internet sucks. Oh, my internet beyond sucks. I mean, I got a little hamster doing this just to get me
that's with 2 legs.
Dial up. Yeah, exactly. I was moving my feet too. All right. Well, I don't know what else to talk about. You guys have any questions? John, it's cool to know that about you. That's awesome.
Yep. Studs or no studs, depending on the temperature.
Yep. Darn you, Sonny guys. Yeah, Otter, I'm sure he gets a lot, even though he's in the nicer part. He's in Iceland, right? He's in Iceland, not Greenland.
Yeah. No.
Greenland gets more ice.
Yeah, he's in Iceland.
Yeah, he's in Iceland. See you talking
hamster
rock.
Wheel.
I'm serious. I have a hamster wheel for internet.
Yeah, and the wheel's square. And he's like, and then they go on the next.
Excuse me while I eat this, whatever you call this thing, a ho-ho or something.
We have about 4 to 6 inches of snow right now. We had some snow yesterday, but it was like a dusting. Had a good time. Appreciate it, John. We're gonna get out of here 2 hours.
John Talley, it was awesome.
Shiboseki, what up?
Some states have restrictions on retarded. Need some info on tripods as it's on my Kiat. If you want to buy one and you want to buy the best, go really right stuff. But you're going to pay a lot.
With
the Anvil 30 ball head. Now, I don't know what your price point is, Drian. So that's about $1,400. It's a lot to pay for a tripod, and I get it. Look at the 2 vets. I'm not the only one that's saying this. This was highly recommended by Chris Way.
I thought he liked the vet.
And Chris Way likes the 2 vets with an Anvil 30 on it. You'll save yourself, you'll be in the $1,000 price point. When it gets to the other ones, like the Bogs and all these other ones, you have to look and see what weight you can live with.
And how long you want.
The Leo photos, all of those, you'll just have to do your research. I don't know enough about those. I know, like, Rick's got this one that he uses, that he's planning on using at the match. It's an Ecto. I don't consider this.
That's a spotting scope.
It's for a spotting scope. It's not something I would shoot off of, but you could shoot off of it.
You could.
Yeah.
But the other ones are a lot better. I got Pirelli Dragon Sports.
Yeah, I know +5. I knew you were a big motorcycle guy because I think you had a Ducati stolen or something like that.
Okay, tripod is moving to the end of the list. Yeah, they're super expensive. And then you got to figure out what you want to pack as far as lengthwise. Because there's a 3-section,
yep,
a 2-section,
and you can get the XL model.
I mean, it's when you throw it in your pack, I don't know how you're going to use it, but if you try to throw it in your pack, some of them are pretty damn long.
So let's jump back to guns real quick, because I do want to mention this. So, guys, we throw a lot of information and try to share a lot of information on things that we've done or know, but not everything that we talk about is going to fit every application. If I were strictly a PRS shooter, I wouldn't mind an XL tripod that was longer, because those guys usually keep them extended. They just carry it over their shoulder. But if you're doing a ruck style match and you're going in and out of terrain or places where you're ducking in and out of, I want something smaller. Okay. I don't want a tripod that's 3 feet long when it's collapsed.
Yeah.
So you have to look and see what type of event you're doing. You know, I mean, in the last 2 years, we've brought you, when I say we, myself and Rick, just showing you guys, you know, the ruck style matches, being the competition dynamics, the Bushnell Elite, doing PRS, doing the Snipers Unknown. I can't imagine negotiating some of those stairwells and all that with a tripod that's an XL this long.
That would suck ass.
So you've got to look and see what direction you're going with it. You know, we're doing a lot of this, you know, precision rimfire shooting. I haven't had to use a tripod yet on it, but I think at this match this weekend, there is one stage where you have to use a tripod. I still don't know if we're bringing it or they're providing it. Yeah. But you have to make sure your equipment is going to suit your needs. Just because I say it doesn't mean that would be great for you, because I want something that I can do dual duty. It can be small. I can throw it in a pack, but that might not be the best for PRS if that's all you're going to do, because maybe you could do with the longer legs.
Well, and you got to think too about traveling.
Yeah, let's always clarify that.
If you got to throw your shit in some bags to get across country to go shoot a match too, that could be a hindrance. Unless you can figure out how to get it in your rifle bag.
Yeah.
And still keep it under $50. You don't have to pay another $50.
Okay. So Drian, if you're 6'3", you're going to want something that is a longer tripod. You can't go with like a 24, like a Really Right Stuff makes a 24L. I think it's going to be too short. I think you're going to want to go with the 34L. That will suit your needs. Look up the specifics on the 34L, and I know that will suit you being 6'3". Ford is bankrupt next few years. Machine is wow. I didn't know that. They won't miss those cool Rangers. I don't know. I'm trying to catch up.
What did I say, Ford?
I said it the other night talking about bipods. What is the purpose? A big spectrum when it comes to that issue.
Says the other night.
Talking about bipods. Okay, so now we're switching to bipods.
What is the purpose? A big spectrum when it comes to that issue.
Can you reword that, Armament? Yeah, I'm kind of losing that in translation.
I am too.
The NRL 90C is super tall, 4 leg pulls, $400, holds 80 pounds. I've had mine for 2 years and beat it up. It's still holding strong. Okay, Brian, I've heard a lot of good things about that one. How much does it weigh? Okay, that would be interesting to look up. Do you have your phone where you can maybe look NRL 90C weight? Because I know that the 34 Really Right Stuff is going to weigh in at 4-point-something pounds with the Anvil 30 ball head. I think it's like 4.4 or 4.7 pounds. You know what I say? Pounds equals pain. Okay, so John Townley. That is the tripod that's right underneath you right here. We can't show you because the camera's attached to it. It's the Ecto tripod,
6.3.
Carbon fiber. So, yeah, you're looking at another 2 pounds. I know you guys are going to be like, 2 pounds, big deal. If you add that to a pack.
That means a whole lot.
When you're doing 20 and 30 miles, it makes a huge difference. So if you don't need a lightweight one and it's only 2 pounds, then, yeah, that's probably a great option for you, and the price point's going to be right.
Whatever kind of money that is, it's only $325.
Okay, so Armament Axis, a big spectrum, meaning what is the use and purpose of the said tripod or bipod for what your needs are? Exactly.
Oh, it's 6.3 puffooned.
Puffooned?
Well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a shame that Ford Falcon, XR6, and XR8s were never exported. Americans would have loved them. Yeah. It's amazing what some countries get.
I don't know what the way it was. I gave wrong information. I was on some like Euro site, and it said puffooned. No, wait. Or pounds.
Joe Bender. Yeah, I was running a Scar 16. That's actually a machine gun. It's the CQC. It's a 10-inch barrel. And I usually keep one gun set up for night vision. I keep one that's just kind of dedicated. It can do daytime work, but the helmet's all set up and everything is ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's better than an AR, but it was a piston gun. It's super lightweight. It was fun to run at the match. We weren't shooting crazy long or anything else. I still like the AR a lot, but since I was running a can and I didn't want the overgassing, I just chose it. It was the flavor of the week.
So to answer Chris Armament,
And there's a question here coming up.
So this is we talked
Amazon shows 6.3 pounds. So yeah, 2 pounds heavier.
So we talked about Chris is asking, or I should call him Armament and Axis. Says the spectrum, meaning what is the use and purpose of the said tripod or bipod for what your needs are. So the stage is going to dictate how you have to shoot said object. And so depending on what you got to do, depending on what you have to shoot over, maybe you have to shoot prone, but you have to get over, some vegetation, right? You may want like these extensions on here. So this bipod has the extension on it. Normally the feeder right here. Let me put it down here so you guys can see it. So this section here is actually the extension portion of it. So now your options are a little bit more. You can get a little bit higher up into the grass where you can actually see where your bullet's not going to hit the grass and change your flight of impact. And there's a huge difference between lower end budget bipods than there is ones that actually do cost quite a bit more money. When it comes to flex, when it comes to maneuverability, some you can have like a 5 position, and some, it's nothing but just out, straight out, and that's it. Depending on like a Harris bipod, you may have no options available except just out. So price points will vary depending on what you're getting. Some you hit the button, the thing will shoot out. Some you got to pull the handle down. Some, when you hit the button, they go back in. So it just depends on what the shooter likes. But when it comes to tripods, there's stages where they make you shoot off of a tripod, and then the point of the Arca Swiss rail is you can actually clamp your rifle, and it'll hold it there for you. You don't have to hold it on top of a bag. And I kind of prefer the bag, but
guess what email I just read?
What email?
This is the prize list for this weekend's match. Check this out. All right, listen up, guys. There's a lot of sponsors. You got Vortex, Bergara, everyone else. There will be a Bergara 100% off rifle. Wow. So a free rifle.
Any Bergara?
Thunder Beast, free suppressor.
Nice.
There will be a free Thunder Beast suppressor, which that's $1,000 something.
Yep, $1,200.
$100 off of it, or 100% off a free Thunder Beast 22 takedown.
Nice.
Let's see, 50% off of XLR JV NV Pro chassis.
Oh, that's a good one. That's basically a $600
short action precision 3-piece combo.
3-piece combo.
I don't know. It's probably like shot holders, things like that.
Damn, that's good.
The MSRP, let's see, Vortex Optics is giving a 50% off MSRP. You used to have one of those. I think they're in the side. I think they're in the side of. They're in the garbage can. Let's see, Vortex Optics 50% off MSRP.
So 2 of those.
Yep. Vortex Optics 50% off MSRP.
3 of those.
Bushnell 40% off. Bushnell 40% off.
2 of those.
Wow,
there's a lot of money there.
Craziness.
That's funny. Someone was asking me, what kind of money do you win if you win? I'm like, you don't usually win money. You win stuff.
A free Timney trigger, $253.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's $250.
$250.
How much to enter the match? It was what was it, $60?
$60.
Yeah, 50 or $60.
Yeah, pretty impressive here. So yeah, they just emailed that. So those that are attending the event, you can.
What was that Target thing?
No, this is just what it was costing on certain things.
Oh, breakdown of costs for the show.
Yeah.
Or the match.
So yeah, interested in going to that one. It'll be a fun one.
That's pretty cool. I mean, trying to get sponsors for matches and stuff, and actually getting people to, give away certain items for that. That's awesome.
Well, how long have we been chatting? 2 hours and 15 minutes. We've been all over the park.
Okay, we started off with
your holster
stuff. Oh yeah, we started off with the holsters and the Team Wendy helmet. Then we went to
Hey, what time do you got to be at work tomorrow? I don't know. What time do we have to be at work tomorrow?
What time is it? 11:30.
We have a very flexible schedule, as long as we get the work done.
We did. We kicked ass today.
We did. We did kick a lot of ass today.
I was gonna have to go to what do you call it today?
The bathroom?
No, jury duty. But,
oh yeah.
But I didn't have to for tomorrow. I tried to do my civic duty today. I called, see if I could do jury duty tomorrow, and nope, they didn't need me.
Yeah, I don't use a big bowl tripod. They have their place. I have a Manfrotto that's a big bowl tripod.
That's
but yeah, if I can go with the little, like the really right stuff with a really small footprint, it might not be quite as stable, but it is a great rucking all-purpose tripod.
That's what your buddy Chris likes, is the big.
He likes the bowls. Yeah. Says they're a little more stable.
More stuff to put your bag on top.
Somebody says, "Welcome to Walmart. I'm cheap, but here's a small sponsor."
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. We'll use that money to buy that Walmart. We're gonna do that when it warms up a little bit.
Loophole has 40% off program for police and military. I'm about to order the Mark V with a new PR2 reticle. Check the reticle out, Rick. Yeah, Brian Marks, they have always been a huge sponsor of police and military. The only problem with their program is they are big time backlogged. I would be surprised if you got that Mark V. I'm going to guess here, but I'm going to say 5 months, maybe.
That's like waiting for a suppressor.
That's like waiting on a suppressor.
Damn it.
Leopold has helped me out tremendously. I can't say anything bad about them. I've gotten a lot of stuff from them, but I know that I tried to order a Delta Point off of the program, and they told me that it was going to be about 6 months on that. Andy's
got a great question. Accutech bipods, what do you think to Atlas?
Okay, so Andy Armour. I won an Accutech at the last match. I got it in. Big shout out to those guys. It is a robust bipod. There is no doubt about it. But it feels it and it looks it. And I know that they're a huge sponsor for PRS, but I will take an Atlas any day, and 5 times on Saturday. I will take the Atlas over the Accutech.
Now
I think it's Accutech.
The Crypod, because
trying. Now I have a SkyPod.
Yep,
and it has its place. When I shot it out west, absolutely awesome. It's probably the most versatile. I have the double pull. But there are times it gets in the way. I'm not going to lie to you about it. It gets in the way sometimes because it does have a really big footprint unless you want to run it up this high. So I think it really depends upon the match. The SkyPod is by far the one with the most cant, the most pan, and you can do the most with it in precarious situations. But if it's a simple match where you're doing a lot of positional shooting and you really don't need the bipod for that, let's say a lot of kneeling and a lot of, mid-range or standing type shots, just go with an Atlas. Yeah, I did, Tim Davis. I did watch that video of KB and Guns and Gadgets riding around in Richmond today with the guy with a little siren behind him.
Yeah,
it's crazy. All right, but those are my personal opinions. Yours might vary, but you got to remember, I have a lot of different tripods or bipods, everything from the Thunder Beast, which I've decided Mini X is going to run that on her rifle this weekend. The Thunder Beast has some really great points to it.
That one deploys out, right?
But there are some that don't. There are some things that it does that I don't like. We already did a bipod review here covering all of these.
Yep.
But so far, I'm not a huge fan of the Accutech.
Which one did you win?
It was my choice, actually. And I ended up going with, geez, I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of the most popular ones in PRS that the guys would use. So it's, lengthwise,
They're all the same.
it's not, I mean, it's at my house.
7 to 9.
Hasn't even been used. I'll probably end up, I don't own so much, but I might end up getting rid of that. But if I had a 50 or something, that'd be the one. It is robust.
It is built like a brick shit
It's
house.
built like a tank. Just not a big fan of
Just
it.
throw the 50 on that bad doggy.
And I did get it with the Arca Swiss head on it, the attachment.
Nice. That was a smart move. Or was it?
All right, what else? We all out of topics. When are we going to see Rick and Ray shooting while riding the one wheel? I already did that.
That's true.
But it would be really smooth now because I have.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
blacktop.
I got my whole driveway, house, all of that. There's no more gravel. It's all been paved. And I had to save up for a while to do that one. But yeah, it's like glass now. Man, you could really hurt yourself.
I could really
on
hurt
one wheel.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Sky pods are like really right tripods. Pay premium, but get the best too. Buy once, cry once, unless you want a small tripod. That's right. That's right.
That's right. +5.
Yeah, they have their place. They really do.
As I was about to enter the tight bit.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hopefully you guys had fun. Hopefully you learned all about everything.
No, we just had fun chit chat.
Man, it was fun. It's good times. Always good times.
For those that ordered the Bad MF tonight, I put a bunch on the website. I put a few on the website. It shows out of stock, but I do that on purpose because I'm not ready to let it go full tilt. But I appreciate it. I'll get those mailed out first thing in the morning. But yeah, if you go into the website, you actually just it says out of stock, click quick view, and you can actually order it under there. It'll tell you how many are left.
What?
Yeah.
That's a little ninja trick.
Well, that's because I had to get the pre-orders taken care of first. And if I didn't do that, then other
now,
people
are
would
those
go
all
in.
done? No, they can't be.
No, they're close, but not
Yeah,
quite.
you have to wait for the 22 bullet holders and stuff.
What's the fastest speed I have driven? That would be in a quarter-mile drag strip in a Pro Stock, and that was
fast.
Yeah, stupid fast. I'm trying to remember the exact time and the speeds and everything else. I don't want to misquote that.
Give him a minute; he'll remember.
But I've easily been over 200 anyway. But I'll get you an exact on because a couple different ways. But I'll let you know. Fastest. Precision shooting and hookers. Get the best bipods you can afford. Holy crap! But a triple pull sky pod is $1,000, and that's the most expensive. But it wouldn't be the best. I would not want a triple. I chose not to go with a triple. Is there a place? Yeah, absolutely.
There is.
But for most people, no. Some of the top PRS guys run around with a double and a triple sky in their pack, and they choose whichever one they want to choose because you can change them during the match. I can say I won't ever own a triple. That's too much.
That's a whole
205 in a street car, 189 on a motorcycle. Those are some good speeds, Armament Axis. I will tell you, most things do run about 10% speedo error, though. So if it was 189 on a motorcycle, if it was a normal motorcycle, you were probably doing 170. Got pulled over doing 140. The cop super trooper me and he left. He must have got a call. I got lucky. Yeah, lucky.
You got the very lucky.
Crikey, Armament Axis, what were you driving?
He was driving a stolen car.
3 crowns, 165 on a motorcycle. Yeah, 205 in a street car. That's really doing something because not many cars can go over 200. It takes an ungodly amount of horsepower to be able to go above 200 miles an hour. I'm not saying some of these built ones can't do it. I'm not saying you didn't do it. I'm just saying it required a lot of horsepower to do that, a tremendous amount for a street car anyway.
Oh, car can 145 for an hour.
Yeah, hour straight on a motorcycle.
Hey, how far did he go?
I have a story similar to that one.
How far did he go?
Well, I don't know.
How many miles?
145 miles.
There you go.
145 miles.
Never mind.
That's easy stuff.
You out of control. You Asian. You got that. You got that math problems down. All right, we're out of here.
All right, you guys have a good one.
All right.
In the rain.
In the rain.
In the rain. 145 in the rain. That's getting her done.
But how fast have you driven a lawnmower? That's what I want to know.
Depends on the kind of lawnmower.
Get her done. See you guys. Stay safe.